Yes, that's right. Patroncast number 34 for January 2017. First Patroncast of 2017. Taking your calls here once again for the 34th time. And what a month. What a month we had in January 2017. Podcast got off to a flying start. I'm very happy to be back here once again with you guys. We got so much done here in January. Yes, it's the Survivor off season, it's the Big Brother off season, but we've had Celebrity Apprentice, we've had Hunted, we've had so many different things to talk about, and boy, have I been busy. 20 game changer pre-season interviews in the can, ready to go, waiting to hear that starting gun for the kickoff of Survivor 34. So here we are, ready to go and ready to take your phone calls. 1-857-232-0157. Conference code is up on the screen behind me. That's kind of like an eye chart to read backwards and a little bit of like when the police pull you over. So I'm not going to attempt that, but you see it behind me. Of course, if you are joining us here live in the chat, maybe we can also post it in the chat room here as we are chatting live with the patrons. And I also put the link to come on the Google Hangout with me there. We ended up doing it out of necessity last time. We were having some problems with the conference call number, but I thought it worked out pretty good. Here's what I'll say, though. If you want to pop into the video chat, what I'm going to ask is that you come in and have your video camera. You can keep your camera on, but keep your audio, your microphone muted. And then when I call on you, then you will need to unmute your microphone. If you don't think you can handle that, just call in the number. If you think you can handle that, it's always fun to get to see people and like place faces with names of people that I haven't met before. So if you're into that, you think you're up for it, I think that's always fun for the viewers as well. So we're still taking the phone calls, but if you want to get in on the video Google Hangout, that'll be fun also along the way. So very excited. It's been a big month, as I said at the top of the show. A lot of patrons in on the diet bet over the month of January. A lot of people trying to lose weight, get the new year off on the right foot. I am no exception. Been working very hard, but I do have some sad news. I think I am not going to win the diet bet. It has not been for a lack of trying. I've been up every morning. I've been exercising. I've been entering all of my meals into my Fitness Pal. I'm on like 28 days in a row of entering my meals into my Fitness Pal. I just don't know if the 5 or 6 pounds I was supposed to lose in a month, that might have been a tall order. And so unfortunately, I don't know. I came close. Let's see. I got one more like chance to when I first wake up in the morning. I think I got to be at like 156 on the scale. I don't know if that's going to quite happen, but I'm very happy with, the regimen that I've been on to start the new year. And who knows, maybe if by some miracle I gained a pound of muscle, I'll take it. Believe me that I'm not going to complain about that. So the number is like whatever, but it is looking like right now, the projections are looking like that Rob Cesternino, will be a diet bet loser heading into the final weigh-in tomorrow. So disappointment, things don't always go the way you want them to, but it may ultimately be the case. So if you were counting on me to win the diet bet, we'll see. Well, one more day to go on that. But without further ado, why don't we get into the phone calls? I'm sure we have a lot of different things to talk about here along the way. We had announced I think I announced on the last, maybe it was 2 Patron 5 for 5s ago, that we had the Live Know-It-Alls. Live Know-It-Alls tickets had gone on sale. We are officially sold out for Live Know-It-Alls for March 22nd at Caroline's on Broadway. So very excited to see so many of you guys there. March 22nd. So just under 2 months to go until that. And our first caller on the line is the great John Densford. John, are you there?
Edward Morris.
Oh, no. John, how's it going?
You ain't never seen that movie Deliverance, has you?
No, that is like not a topical reference that you want to hear. It's not like the guy was like quoting a line from like a topical movie. That's something that
you ain't never seen that movie Deliverance, has you?
That guy's got a really great sense of humor or has no sense of humor. Yeah, that's right.
Oh God,
John, are you liking The Hunted?
I'm loving The Hunted.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving The Hunted. I'm loving The Hunted podcast. You guys are killing it. I'm all in.
Yeah, I thought it like was going to be just like a goof the, whole off season, especially because that first episode was so crazy and silly. But I really did enjoy it in the 2-hour episode. So I don't know if they just like they broke us or what. But the 2-hour episode I thought was pretty fun. I'm really looking forward to just the 1-hour episode. I think that's going to be a nice 1 hour of Hunted. I think that's going to be perfect on Wednesday night.
I absolutely agree. I think it'll be good to kind of see what it's like when it's, hit its stride.
Yeah,
we'll see. Of the season.
We'll check in with, Dave and Emily. We'll see some other, Dodo team come and go. Yeah, what did I say?
You meant David, not David.
Oh, David, yes. So we'll check in with them, and maybe we'll see like the escape room people get captured, and then just like some check-ins. It's gonna be good. I'll be into it.
Yeah.
So good, John. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I purchased my tickets and booked all of my accommodations. I will be coming to New York City and Know-It-Alls for the first time. So that's pretty exciting.
Very exciting.
And I was actually, it's kind of funny. Now I'm looking forward, and I kind of want to know what the heck is up with the Canada Know-It-Alls.
Okay, well, it's a good question. So we have been trying to figure that out. I've had a couple of different people trying to find a place for this cup. Sorry. We've got a couple of different people have been working hard on this, from Ron from Toronto, who really did some legwork on Yuck Yucks, a Toronto comedy club, to our own Scott St. Pierre in the mix, to the great Angie Kantz. So we have some of our best people working on it. The issue has just been trying to find a venue to host us, and it's turned out that the actual venues in Toronto have actually been like in some cases more expensive than booking Caroline's for the night on that for in Manhattan. And the trick is just trying to make this work economically, where we have more expenses to come in and do the show in Toronto, because we don't have to pay for Steven's travel. Like usually, like if we've done them in New York and in Los Angeles, we're just paying for I gotta pay to fly in, and then but Steve, we don't have to do anything for Steven, and then vice versa with LA, and then also right. Steven, he stays with his parents here, so we have some economies of scale, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an economics guy. But now, we have to fly me and Steven in, and we need to make sure we have like, accommodations for me and Steven to come in. And if the venue is getting, expensive, I also don't want, I try to, not have the tickets start to get, too outrageous either. It's just been a matter of trying to make everything work out. Also, Steven has pretty specific dates that he wanted to do. The first week in May was the week that Steven wanted to do it. So we are still trying to figure it out. We don't have anything booked yet. So that's still in pencil on the calendar. But I would say that we're targeting the first week in May is when Steven has said his great preferences to do it.
Well, that would be perfect timing for me. And I guess I pretty much don't care where it is, but maybe it's cheaper in Vancouver. Shout out to Jordan Parhar.
Shout out. Yes. I know Scott St. Pierre wants to go to Vancouver too. I just, I really like, we said we were going to give Toronto a shot. And I really want to, give it the old college try before we say it didn't work out. So hopefully, I still have, that like we gotta, double back again and really try. I don't want to just like half-ass it. I know the people of Toronto are very excited. And then also, I want to do a Big Brother Canada also while we're there.
Exactly.
And I feel like that there's going to be a lot of Big Brother Canada people in the mix in Toronto during the filming of the season. So I think that that's also important to do. But we got to try to still make it all work.
Okay. Well, can I ask one more question? I mean, I don't want to be a Puya and hog up all your time,
but
I do want to get in one more question.
Shots fired.
I love that. He told me not to do that.
Yes. Okay. What do you got?
Oh, well. One more question. So I've actually been, in the last couple of weeks, I've actually been blazing through The Genius. I've started with season 2 now, and I'm already up to season 4. And I was wondering if now that we've kind of gotten a little bit of distance from the audiobook dropping, has it become, I don't know, more prescient in your plans to try to get to Know-It-Alls 2?
The Genius season 2.
The Genius?
Yeah. Yeah, I know Steven is chomping on the bit to do it. I think that right now, I think we've talked about trying to start recording into it next month. The problem is I have like 2 other audiobook ideas that I'm very excited about, and I don't want to get take on too many different things.
Come on.
Yeah. So I got to talk to the people that I would record them with before I announce them here. I think that that would I can't do this in the reverse order, because then I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube if people say they don't want to do these ideas. But we should probably just get to the Genius and take care of it. I know Steven is really excited to do it, so I think that probably next month I would say is going to be the right time. And for me, I do have a lot of podcasts in the can in February because I have all of these Game Changer interviews that I've done, and so I'm planning on releasing them 2 in a podcast. So it'll work out to basically I have 11 extra shows already recorded in the can. I still have to edit them. Whereas Tony and Sandra are going to be sort of 2 segments each on those 2 players in particular. So it works out to 11 extra shows. So I should have a lot of time that I'm not necessarily recording in February. So it's probably a good time to start to get into the Genius.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited.
Well, I guess I won't hog up all the time.
Okay. To be fair, did Puya hug up all the time last time? I don't think that's the case. I think that's an exaggeration.
Are you kidding me? He asked 45 questions.
45 questions? I don't remember that. I just talked to him last week, so I'm getting those conversations confused. I will say it was that he might have had the longest Game Changer call.
Who was his Game Changer?
Malcolm.
Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. Malcolm's one of the better ones.
Yeah. No, I think that they've all been really, really, I am legitimately excited for you guys to hear them. I've been very happy with how they've come out, and especially the people that are these legendary figures that are coming back for season 34. I think we did justice to them in going back and talking about their game. So it was really, really fun to go through. So all right, so John, thank you very much. See you in March.
I will see you in March. And good luck with your next caller. He probably sucks.
Probably. Okay, John. Thank you. All right, let's go to caller number 2. Friendly rival of John Densford. Here is Edmo. Edmo, how many days till pitchers and catchers?
Too many. That's the answer.
Yes. So, Edmo, how's everything going?
Everything's good. Off today, off tomorrow. Don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Why? What's the occasion?
No, I said don't.
Yeah, I know. Why? Well, why? So, why are you off for this? Is this just your regular days off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, good. I worked that retail life. I don't have that Monday to Friday, 8 to 5.
Yeah, and you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, because I start at 5.
Start at 5. Wow. See, I wake up at I've been waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, Edmo. You're even up earlier than me.
Oh yeah, I noticed that you're 8 o'clock flights in the morning.
Yeah, boom. I try not to get too distracted and sucked into Twitter at 5 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, because that could take on a life of its own. But yeah, that's been my all January, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, welcome to my life.
Yes, we're on the same page, Edmo. That's why you got to call in early, because you got to get to bed.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So Edmo, what's going on?
First, I finally finished the Adam podcast. I think that was the best podcast you've done over the span of your podcasting career.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I didn't even mention that in terms of like we've been doing these off-season podcasts with Hunted and Celebrity Apprentice. But yeah, I think we've had some really good Survivor retrospectives, and that was a really I was really proud of that one, the way that it all turned out. So I thought that we gave him a winner-worthy interview for the one we did with Adam.
Yeah, it was 3 hours of greatness. I was hoping I'd bang it out in one day, but work got busy. And I only
what are you gonna do?
Day and half the second day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's great. Adam was, and he's been, very, he seems like a really, sweet guy. And he was very upset after we got our interview done, because he said he forgot to talk about how he listened to the 49 Laws of Survivor at Ponderosa getting ready to play the game. And I just said, I'm happy it worked for somebody. I really wasn't sure how up to date it is, because I did feel like after TEOS, I kind of felt like that was a little dated. That's why I try, like, I don't tend to talk about it a lot, but he said it was good for something. So I'm happy to have helped a Survivor winner get a little better at anything, and then go on to win. I'm sure it was not the biggest factor, but it was just funny that somebody was listening to it in Ponderosa.
Well, at least you could take some credit.
Yeah, take some credit in it. I think that, I think there's a few nuggets of advice in it along the way. I just feel like that I'm not as proud of that as I am of TEOS, because I feel like that we sort of just like, really just like combed through. It was before I had done a full rewatch of the whole show, and a lot of stuff was just sort of like, oh yeah, that we like, I didn't rewatch anything. I just sort of like going off of like reputation on like a bunch of things. So I'm much more proud of the TEOS, but happy that Adam got something out of 49 Laws of Survivor.
Yeah, and I'm really digging your Celebrity Apprentice podcast and the Hunted podcast, with especially the newcomers, Megan and my good BFF, Liana.
Yeah, no, they've been great. And the shows have been very fun to go through. So I've been very happy with how all of the shows have been coming out over the last couple of weeks. I feel like we've done some good podcasts, even when there's no Survivor episodes to talk about. So that make like, I do take a lot of pride in, like, even when there's nothing going on, we can still do some pretty good shows.
Just be careful about that Kurt Clark. I hear he likes to use roofies.
Whoa, yeah. It's going to put it in the spaghetti to knock out one of the hunters. So we'll see. Yeah, Kurt Clark is like BFFs with like the whole like Mission Control on the Hunted. Every single one of those guys.
Speaking of Mission Control, Liana gave me some intel from a DM that she got.
Whoa.
Yeah, she said that Ri-Fi messaged her. I guess they started talking, and then she said, no worries, Daddy will be back dominating next week. I'm glad you liked the show.
Wow. Was she giving you permission to say this on the record, Edmo?
Oh yeah, no. Okay. I talked to her. She said she was going to mention it on the podcast tomorrow, but yeah, she told me. So
Ri-Fi said Daddy's going to be home next week?
Daddy's going to be back dominating next week.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Ri-Fi. More like TMI. Yeah, wow. Ri-Fi. Who knew? Maybe Ri-Fi was just like, hey, I'm going to go on this show Hunted just to meet women, and then slide into their DMs and tell them about Mission Control. Wow. I wonder if Kurt is getting any sort of messages like that from anybody at Mission Control. Maybe Dr. Maxwell. Who knows? That's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, we'll be back with more Hunted Wednesday night. Get it ready for you for 4 a.m. on Thursday, Edmo.
Yes, and more of Daddy Ryan.
Yes, Daddy Wi-Fi. Daddy's home. Okay. All right. You take care, buddy.
Oh, Rob, just one more question.
Yes.
Since we know the patron response, how is the outside response to the beard?
I mean, so far so good. I mean, my neighbor that Nicole is always trying to throw under the bus. She said, "Yes, I like this." So she says, "You look very grown up." So, yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, I do feel like it's a little bit of a mixed message to me in terms of that people have seen the responses seem to be positive. But it does seem as though, like, oh, yeah, like cover more of that face. That's really now we're getting somewhere. But no, I've enjoyed like at least like having a new year, feel like a new look, trying to be healthier in the new year. So I feel like it all goes together. At some point, I'll fall off the wagon and shave the whole thing off, and then we'll start from scratch. But so far, so good. Actually, I wanted to give a special shout out to one of our patrons. I got a card in the mail. I went to my P.O. box the other day that says, "Hi, Rob and Nicole. Thank you for the laughs every week. Love RHAP." This is from Emmy, hashtag supple hands. And Emmy works for the Badger Health and Body Care and sent me some soothing hand cream and cuticle cream and also Badger Beard Balm. So thank you, Emmy, for helping to keep me have a supple hands and supple beard. Thank you, Emmy. There you go.
But no gloves.
No gloves. Well, I have the gloves. That I don't need them to send me more gloves. I have them. It's all good, Edmo.
Okay, Rob. Well,
all right.
Have a good night.
Take care. All right. Get to bed, Edmo. All right. Talk to you later. All right.
Bye.
All right. Let's go. Let's try one of our video calls. Noah, you ready? You ready to come on? Okay.
Hello.
Here we go. Noah, how are you? Yes. Yes, here we go. All right, video call, and let me just, I have it locked on me. Okay, Noah, how are you?
I'm okay. Do like job interview prep, getting ready to finish grad school.
Okay.
Everything's very exciting and unknown.
Exciting and unknown. It's all happening. Yeah. Okay.
It is happening.
Well, that's good, and good luck with everything. And what field are you going into?
I'm a software engineer.
Oh, okay. And
I'm a master's in computational linguistics, which is like natural language processing.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a job for you at Mission Control on Hunted?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's the new hit reality series with lots of guys on Twitter.
I mean, I know what Hunted is, but I have no idea what the Mission Control is. So
yeah, that's the headquarters for Hunted, where they're chasing all of the perps, all the fugitives.
Okay, I don't think that's on my viewing list anytime soon. So
okay,
that Big Brother will probably wait for I don't know, one day.
Fair enough. No, so what is your question?
I wanted to talk about your secret. Is that okay?
That's okay.
I will not copy paste any of this anywhere.
Yeah.
Can you tell the story of they called you like come on the show, like be on the show, or like come to casting, like what's going like.
Okay, so let me just give some backstory here, and then let me expand a little bit on what Noah is talking about. So there was a thread in the off-topic patron group sometime early in January about, I think it was it Humberto that started Tell Us a Secret? And so people were like writing like really intimate things about. I don't mean like intimate, like scandalous or anything. Maybe in some cases, but people were like really opening up and revealing things that were, that people obviously did not know about them. And I was really sort of, moved and touched and inspired by like what you guys had. And I sort of like racked my brain, like, I need something good. I need something good. And so I had revealed in the thread about how last January I had gotten a call from casting for Survivor, and they had asked me if I wanted to play, and I said no, and I hadn't had any regrets about not doing it. So, no, your question is like what exactly was I asked?
Yeah, well, like the story.
Yes.
What did they ask? What did you like have to think about it for a little bit?
Well, okay. Well, let me give and my one caveat with this was then the following day I was very bummed out when then there was a thread started on Reddit which had included a screenshot of what I had posted in the patron off-topic group, which was basically like, so, you know, blank was asked to be a game changer, and I really was pretty bummed out about that had happened. The person who was responsible for it, they took it down and they apologized, and so, you know, it's water under the bridge. But I just wanted to say that, you know, that this is something that, you know, I would talk about with the patrons, but I wouldn't talk about on the podcast. And I'm really, you know, really crossing my fingers that people, you know, honor that, you know, I'm talking about something I wouldn't talk about normally. And if you, you know, like the relationship that we have with the podcast and the relationship we have with CBS, then, you know, don't try to do stuff to, you know, put me in a bad situation with the network. But basically, the short version, and it really is a short story, was I was contacted by somebody in casting in January of 2016, and they had told me that I was on a short list of people that they were looking at to play again, and for a specific theme that they had for season 34. And there wasn't going to be a vote. It was just going to be the opportunity to come back if I was interested. I mean, I still would have like been in the mix, and I still obviously could have gotten cut. It wasn't like, you know, I was going to say yes and I was definitely going to be on. But it was early on in the process where it wasn't like they were scrambling. You know, this was somebody that, you know, this was probably, you know, 5 months before they ultimately, or maybe 4 months before they ultimately left for the season. And I just, you know, had said, thanks, but no thanks. We have a 3-month-old baby. I really, could not imagine leaving. Everything is going, you know, very well with the podcast. I wouldn't want to leave that. You know, don't lose my number, but just, thanks, but no thanks. And that was it. I didn't consider it. I didn't talk to Nicole. It was all one conversation. Just said, you know, thanks, but no thanks. And, that was it. And I do think that, you know, when you take a look at like what they were doing for Game Changers, I do think that they began with an idea of, okay, winners versus the best to never win versus like pre-merge boots or something like that. And I think that then if you take a look at like the people that they ultimately got, I do think that you start to see like there's like a through line there of like when you like the best to never win people are probably, you know, Sari was probably in from the beginning, and Ozzy was probably, that's how he got in there. And you had, you know, Sandra and Tony and JT. And then I think that there was probably a lot of people that ended up saying no this past go around. I mean, I don't know anything definitively, but if I had to guess, I think Kelly Wentworth probably was asked and said no. Pretty sure like Joe Anglim was asked and said no. So I do think that they struggled to find people to fit that in. And then I think that they ultimately got away from that idea of winners versus best to never win versus like something else, and ultimately got into a little bit of a hodgepodge situation with like it ultimately turned out to be. Noah, did I answer the question?
Yes. I don't want to take too much time, but I was wondering if you think like at the current state of the cast, that hot mess of a cast that they ended up with, do you think you would have done well?
I don't. I do, and I just take a look at the people who are out there, and I just kind of feel like I feel like there's a lot of alpha males and a lot of bros, and I feel like that is not necessarily, even though, I'm as broy as they get. No, they're really just like a total alpha male, and you would think that people would just fall in line.
You're not. You can get along with anyone. I mean, I don't think that's actually an issue. And I also think that there are people there with bigger targets than you.
I think I can get along with anyone. I really do. But I do feel like that there would probably be the same sort of thing that went on with Steven in Cambodia, where the savage type people of the world would never ultimately trust me. And even if I could like get in for a while, I think that this doesn't look like a group for me where I would have ultimately done well. I think that maybe where I thought about this the other day when I was dropping Dominic off from school, I wonder maybe like if Survivor is still on the air like in 10 years, I feel like that would be the time for me to play again, where there would be like a whole generation of people. Like I feel like that like my peers and older, I feel like are always going to vote me out. But I think that maybe like when younger people, like more and more younger people come through, like maybe they'll have like some reverence for me as I get older, and I could just be sort of like the lovable older guy on the tribe. What do you think of that, Noah?
I mean, 10 years from now, every single person on that cast has gone through an exit interview with you at least.
Yeah, yeah, and I should be so arrogant to say, like 10 years from now, they'll say like, oh, remember that guy that played Survivor 25 years ago? Let's bring him back.
No, but it's the Survivor podcast. Oh, wait, you were on Survivor? I didn't even know that.
Nobody will even know.
I think you're like Delta Ross. You just interviewed me. Like,
yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't feel like that the younger people would be like I feel like that, a lot of these like millennials, I feel like they'd keep me around, but the older people I still feel like would still be coming after me. So I wonder if maybe I gotta wait till the time is right now.
I don't know. I don't think there's a savage on that cast, and I think Suri and Sandra would want to work with you.
I hope so, but we'll see. For me, it's like going to go back and play is just still not super appetizing. I really am so happy with what I'm doing. I feel like that, the podcast just keeps getting better and better. All of this is so, fulfilling and satisfying to me. The idea of doing like what literally amounts to a crapshoot is, certainly there's things I can control, but there's so many things that are out of your control. And I would much rather prefer to just, show up here, put in my, 14, 16 hours of, at the office, and then come back and do it again over and over and over again, than just sort of like, who knows how it could go. And I really mean what I said. Like, I had no regrets about not doing it.
Yeah, and I get what you were saying. Like, you just had a baby and everything. It's just like, I really want to see that happen. Like, I still remember the day I saw the episode you were voted out in All Stars, and I was like, I can't. I don't want to finish this season. I finished it, but it wasn't as fun. And I just like, I was in high school, and since then I wanted to like see you play again. And yeah.
Well, who knows is I guess all we could say, but it was nice to be asked, and it was nice to be thought of. And going back to when I went to the finale for Cambodia, one of the producers had said to me, okay, we got Steven, we're gonna get you, and I'm like, I don't think so, I don't know. So we'll see. But it was flattering to be asked, but I just am having, the best time doing this right now. And it's, really much more excited to be talking about this season than, have gone through this experience and then, not have podcast last season. And, I think that a lot of people think that, oh, they'll just let you podcast. I really like, they only let Steven post his people blog after like production read it. there would be no version. It would be like, there would be a podcast. Somebody else would be hosting it. Like I would be on lockdown for, a solid year in that type of situation.
I don't know if you play like in the summer and then
if it was a situation like Steven did in Second Chances, yes, that could be the case. But this was not going to be that case. This would have been, I would have left in May of 2016 and would still not be back. It would be like a solid year on the shelf.
It would be us like sitting at home waiting for a podcast, nothing to listen to, and be like, and I wanted him to go and play, and now I'm bored.
Yeah, so it's long term. This is a better situation, and we had a lot. Think of all the fun we've had in the last year.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Okay. Well, no, thank you so much for coming in for the call. Are you going to be at the Know-It-Alls in March?
Of course.
Know-It-Alls? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So very nice to chat and great question. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Let's get back to the phone lines. And so let's bring in. Let's try this. Who's this? Unlisted phone number.
Kirsten.
Who is this?
Hi. Kirsten.
Kirsten. How are you, Kirsten?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Are you excited for the return of David to your TV tomorrow night?
I'm very excited for the return of David. I don't know if I'm super excited for possibly getting called out on the podcast again. You seem to be making fun of me a lot lately.
No, what did I say? That I know that you said that I called you out by your full name on the podcast. But what else had I said recently?
You made fun of me for having a paper planner.
Yes.
You said I thought that Danny Bryson was a fat man. It's a lot, Rob, okay? No.
I thought that's why you sent him all the soda.
No, I sent soda to Tyson and I said, share the Dunkaroos with Danny. I didn't think he would share the Crystal Pepsi,
okay.
But there it is.
Sorry, Kirsten.
He did.
Sorry.
Kirsten. No, I'm just joking.
Okay. All right. Kirsten, what's going on?
Well, congratulations on finally becoming verified on Twitter. I was wondering if there's any fun on how that actually finally happened.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for noticing. It was as of this afternoon. That was a new thing where I did finally, the powers that be at Twitter did finally recognize the errors in their ways. Now, and what had happened was, and I had said for a long time, every single person that ever gets verified on Twitter, other than somebody that like works, like a professional person that like works for like an organization that verifies them, every reality star, when they're asked about like, well, how did you get verified? They said, well, I just sent in an application and boom, like that, they verified me. They said like, oh, this person is famous. We got to verify this person. And I can tell you that was absolutely not what happened in my case. I applied as soon as they had that form that you could do. I'm pretty sure I did it twice. I also like sent in my ID and claimed people were impersonating me, like way back when, like during the Spice and Hour days, this was, and even when they first announced the form, and nothing ever happened. Adam Klein did offer to help me with the process. And I told him that I appreciated it. I had somebody else who was working on it. And a friend of mine who I used to work with from even before I was doing the podcast, that he does a lot of work with different science fiction, actors and authors on Twitter. And he had said to me, hey, I have a connection at Twitter. And he said, out of all these people that I work with, you should be verified more than anybody. Do you want me to say, to throw your name in? And I said, yeah, of course. This has been like the great blue whale that we've been chasing for 7 years to try to make this happen. And this was actually like months and months ago that he had first mentioned this. And so I said, sure, if it happens, it happens. If not, it's no big deal. And I was, that he kept telling me, okay, it'll happen. And then last week he said, okay, I think we're getting close. And he said, you know, wait to see if verified follows you. That's the sign that you know it's happening. And then it's real, it's happening. And then I got a DM from him today, and he said, "Oh, look at you!" And sure enough, that was the case. So I'm very excited about it. I do feel like that in the time from when I wanted to be verified until now, so many people who should not be verified got verified. I do feel like, though, the blue check mark has lost a bit of its luster. And it really did greatly change the approach I was going to have, where I always said, okay, you know what? If I do ever get verified, I'm not going to go out on Twitter and like make a big spectacle and be like, hey, check this out, everybody. Guess who's verified? Because again, the only response that people are going to have is, really? They verified him? That's who they verify? Boy, they really will verify anybody. So I really have been trying to low-key not try to, call any extra attention to it. It's just like, rather people say like, oh, okay. Oh, look at this. I guess they'll verify anybody these days. But as opposed to the, just like, what? This must be a mistake.
Oh my goodness. You're being really self-deprecating. Just stop. It's exciting.
It's very exciting. It is very exciting. I had thought that there was, but I think it also had gotten a little overhyped, where I thought, people were like, oh, once you're verified, oh, then you can see all these things. And the only thing that I noticed that's different is on my web Twitter, not even on my phone, but on the web, that there's like a third tab that's like verified, and I can see anybody who's verified that like favorited or sent or like messaged me. But it's like I look at every reply I get anyway, so it's not any it's not any different. Like maybe if I was getting like 10 million replies that I couldn't sift through them. I only want to look at who are the important people, but I go through every reply I get anyway. So it really doesn't change anything up, but it was getting to be, in all honesty, it was getting to be a little embarrassing, considering like all of the people they put through, and to still be waiting, like with my bakery ticket, like, did they call Rob Sesternino yet? Did they call the Rob that sucks? No. Okay. So yeah. So it all happened. It all happened. So what? How many? It only took 27,900 tweets to get here. But we did it.
And how does it feel, right? You're there.
It does feel as though, okay, like can cross something else off the list. It does feel like that I have, accomplished something, because it was we tried so many things to ultimately, get this done. So I am very, I just feel like that it took so long to get here. That's where the accomplishment comes from, not any sort of like, hey, now I've arrived, now look at me. It's just like, boy, we really worked very hard and turned over every freaking stone to get to this point. So I'm just so happy that finally it happened after, so many months and months and years of just trying to figure out how to do it.
Well, and now Twitter will no longer be a popular social media.
Yeah, no, Twitter is going to go, Twitter is I don't know. It's not great, Twitter. It's really, a rough place, and it's really like becoming like increasingly negative. I saw a stat today that really it's like 80% of all adults aren't even on Twitter, but like the 20% that are really just like all fighting with each other. It's that the other 80% of the adults in, at least in America, like could care less about what's happening on Twitter. But the 20% of us that are on Twitter are taking it very seriously. We're really getting into it.
Oh goodness.
We're really bringing it down. Yeah. So I don't know how much longer Twitter has. I think that Facebook, I was ready like 5 years ago to count Facebook out. Facebook, I think, is going to be around forever. And all these other Instagram and Snapchat, I think that those have really cut into Twitter quite a bit.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. All right. We'll wait and see. Liana is disagreeing with me about Twitter. Again, I don't have Wi-Fi sliding into my DMs. Okay. Maybe I would feel like, that would be like have a more positive outlook on Twitter if that was the case.
Well, you're probably having a lot of other reality stars sliding into your DMs. So
No.
I think you're probably fine.
No.
Okay.
Very few reality stars. I'm trying to see who, if any. I had Jessica Lewis when I was trying to nail down when we were going to do the podcast. And just like people like, basically it's like, if anything, it's me sliding into reality stars DMs of like, hey, would you do an interview with me? Would you be on the podcast? Of me like begging people to come on and talk to me.
Well, as long as you don't start calling yourself daddy, I think it should be okay.
Yes, that's what my move. That's what I'm going to be like, ready to come on and talk to daddy? Daddy will be back podcasting in March. We're ready to go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right. Well, Kirsten, thank you very much for the call. And you think my Bitmoji needs a beard?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, right now you have a beard, so your Bitmoji should have matching facial hair. I don't know why this is so important to me. I was also getting mad at Puya and Edmo today, telling them to make a Bitmoji because they didn't have one yet. But it matters a lot. It should look like you.
All right, well, let me play around with it.
Shave.
Let me play around with it and see what it looks like. I think that maybe the problem where I didn't put a beard on my Bitmoji was that I don't think a lot of people knew I had the beard, and they would be just very confused. Who is this person? Like if you didn't know that I had a beard,
like you.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Let me look in and play around with it and see. We'll see what we can do. But boy, I am really loving everything about the Bitmoji.
I love Bitmoji too, so I'm excited that you will now get more people into the Bitmoji. Emma was like, some of us are 30. Like Rob's older than you, and he figured it out.
No, it's the best. It is the best, and I love all of the that. Ironically, using any of the sayings on there, I love it. It's my favorite. I just was like going through them the other day, I was just like cracking up. I was just like texting people just to use it. It's great. Love the Bitmoji. It's
so funny. And then if you reply to people on Snapchat, you can have your Bitmoji hang out with their Bitmoji. So now you can have fun with that one.
What do you mean hang out with them?
Like if you reply to someone's Snapchat and you use a Bitmoji in the Snap, you can have your two Bitmojis together in one Bitmoji.
All right. Well, you'll have to explain to me how that works.
Okay.
Like they would just be on the screen at the same time, or I have access to other people's like Bitmoji. Like I can there's like two tandem Bitmoji things to unlock.
Yeah, there's tandem Bitmoji things.
Wow. Okay.
If you reply to them.
Yeah.
You just have to link your Bitmoji to Snapchat.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. That just seems like the next thing where I just see eventually Nicole just like screaming at me over, like, what is your Bitmoji doing with her? I saw one of the patrons told me what your Bitmoji was doing with Australian survivors. Yeah. So it seems like maybe it's not worth it. My Bitmoji was meant to be alone.
Maybe. Well, you get Nicole to make a Bitmoji and you can have them together.
Yeah, we'll see. The problem is going to be for Nicole that I don't think that she is able to, like, here's the thing. She's not going to be able to correctly build the Bitmoji. She is going to, I think that she's going to make something that's going to like, not look like her. It's going to like look like she's gonna try to like make it like some sort of like a thing that she's like some idealized version of herself that's not exactly herself, and I feel like it's not gonna look like her, and it's gonna be awkward. You know what I mean?
That could be a problem.
Right.
I know I do. My sister did that and I got mad at her.
Yeah, and I could do it for her, and then she's gonna say, I don't look like that. She just she doesn't have she's not able to sort of like take a step back and like look at things with in the real world. This is sounding terrible.
I don't know about that.
Look, let's see this. How about this will be the experiment? Let me get Nicole to make a Bitmoji. I'll get her to do it. And then you guys can just like privately tell me like, that's like that looks nothing like Nicole. And then we'll know. And then we'll be able to see.
Please do that.
Okay, let me see. And then somebody could tell her. Yeah, listen. And then you people that narc on me, then she eventually should tell me who narked on her, and then I file it away. So, stop narking on me. Eventually, she'll tell me. Okay.
Oh God. Right. Okay. Well, I feel like this has gone off the rails.
Off the rails.
So I should probably go and let you talk to someone else.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, thank you so much, Kirsten, and looking forward to hearing what you have to say about tomorrow night's Haunted. Okay.
Oh, I will let you know. Don't worry.
Okay, you got it. Okay. All right. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep going. A lot of people on hold. Let's see. Who's this? 845 is who? 845 area code. Are you there?
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Who's this?
It's Mike from Boston.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. All right. So it's a little hard to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Okay. All right. So just speak up a little bit. Yeah. So very good. How's everything going?
Good. I'm enjoying the build up to the Sunday.
Yes. Okay. So you're all ready for you have a prediction?
I think you'll have to listen to 32 Fans to find that out.
Oh, yeah. I did listen to, I started listening to 32 Fans this morning. What they put out like 4 different podcasts today of like that they have podcasts that talk about Riverdale and a podcast that talk about it. Talking to Mike Bloom about roast masters. And then there's also a football podcast.
Yeah, it's a little too much if you ask me.
Yeah. It's like, not for anything, guys, but this is a football show. It's the Super Bowl week. Let's, at least like stick to the task at hand. Or you got a long off season ahead of you.
I'd be curious to see Alex Chester's list of the rankings of this week's shows.
Yes, yeah. If his computer is okay, if he didn't lose all of his files. All right, so Mike, what's going on?
Not much. I'm very much so looking forward to all the Game Changers interviews coming out. It's going to get me psyched up for the new season.
You should be. It's gonna. They're really good. I normally downplay everything. These are really good. These are going to be. You guys are going to be very happy.
Well, can you tease us with one that you thought especially fun?
Okay, again, I don't want to overhype, but I will say that I thought that our own Tom Tomillo did an especially good job with fan favorite Sierra Dawn Thomas. How about that?
There you go.
What if I told you I had a good Game Changer expert interview about Sierra Dawn Thomas in the can, what would you say if I told you that? What would you think if we could knock a Sierra frickin' Dawn Thomas preseason retrospective out of the park? What would you think about that?
I think that's pretty crazy.
That would be crazy, right? That would be good.
It would be excellent.
They're really good. I think they're really fun. Okay, so
awesome.
Yeah. So was that was the question?
No,
Okay.
I wanted to say that I haven't seen a trailer about it or anything yet, but I'm in on 24 Legacy. I'm ready to see what the show's going to look like without Kiefer. So I guess I was wondering, do you and Josh, at least for the premiere, have plans to talk about it, to do a podcast about it?
Great question. So I believe that Josh has seen the premiere, and I of course have not, but we will record a podcast this Sunday night following the Super Bowl. Wiggler may or may not be tipsy, and after Super Bowl, when the Falcons are, Matt Ryan is carrying Julio Jones on his shoulders, are all around the Reliant Stadium. Is that what it's called?
I believe it is NRG now.
Oh,
Rob.
okay. Yeah. Well, at that point, after it's over, Josh and I are planning to record a podcast Sunday night. So hopefully I'll have that for you guys on Monday morning. So be on the lookout for that. I don't think we're gonna do weekly coverage on it. I mean, unless the ratings are really gangbusters and everybody's going nuts for it. But we will certainly cover the premiere. 24 Legacy. 24 Legacy Advantage.
Are you bullish on the idea?
No, I think it's going to stink. I think it's going to be bad.
Okay.
And here's why. That was 24 with Jack Bauer that great the last time around. I mean, we had fun podcasting about it, but it wasn't great.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it just seems like, okay,
sure.
We sort of we know how this goes. I don't know how they necessarily change up the format. So I feel like that 24 at its best is still not always great. So I don't know necessarily how you take out probably, the best thing about it, which is Jack Bauer, and then replace it with something else, and how we're going to have a superior product.
We'll see. I'll be very, I'll definitely catch the premiere.
Yeah,
and, we'll see how it takes.
Yeah, this will be good practice for next fall when you get to see what the Patriots look like with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You'll get to say, oh wait, no, actually this isn't as good without the lead guy. It's the same people that run it. It's the same other people. But yeah, when you lost the lead of the show, yeah, I think you lost something.
Perhaps. I'm just excited to see. Hopefully, Josh Wiggler on the podcast Sunday night will be drinking out of a Chicago Cubs mug.
Oh, I hope so. I don't think we're gonna be live. I don't think we're gonna be live. I think we may just go audio.
Well, I'm sure if he does it, he'll tell us about it.
Yes, he'll tell us about it. One last thing. So, if I wanted Tom Brady to retire or Bill Belichick to retire, should I root for the Patriots to win? Is there any chance? What's will increase the chances most of Tom Brady not being on the Patriots next year? Is it if they win, or is it if they lose and he can't get them over the hump anymore?
I think if they win, because I think if they lose, I think he's gonna feel that he needs to get them back to the place where they can.
But he might go out on
again.
top, so that could be like like when they're up 24-3 in the second quarter. I could talk myself into that.
Yeah, when they're up 24-3 in the second quarter, and he tosses the football to Garoppolo on the sidelines and says, "It's your team now, son."
Yeah. Okay. That's good. All right. Well, good stuff.
I wouldn't hold your breath though about either of those two going anywhere for a couple years.
We'll see. I think Colin Cowherd was saying that Brady might be done. This could be it for him. If the herd said it.
Yep. Colin Cowherd's takes are notoriously very
I like
good.
the herd. I like him. I think it's
he knows what he's doing.
He does a good job. He's a good host.
Yes.
He's good.
Wait, I have 15 more questions.
No, we got to keep moving. Got a lot of people on hold. But do you have something else quick?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the game on Sunday. Not too much. Okay.
I will try.
Okay. All right. All right. Take care. Bye. All right. There we go. All right. The Boston fans are pumped up. I'm feeling a lot of confidence from the Boston fans. I don't think there's any Boston fans that are out there that's like, Atlanta is going to be tough. I don't know if we got this. I feel like that I'm sensing a quiet and not so even quiet confidence from the Patriots fans going into this. I think they're just like, we got this. Yeah, okay. Let's go to 732 area code. 732, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, 732. Who's this?
This is Zach.
Zach. How you doing, Zach?
Pretty good.
Yes.
It's like 10 o'clock here. I'm about to go to bed.
Okay, 10 o'clock. Zach's getting ready to go to bed. Okay, where's here?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Kind of like, 18 years old, New Jersey.
18 years old in New Jersey. What a time to be 18 years old and in New Jersey. Am I right?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So, Zach, what's going on?
I always have an idea for the Shark, or not Shark Tank, the think tank.
Think tank.
And I always forget to say it.
Okay. What is it?
All right. So, what if you could, when you get immunity every week, when you win it, you can give it to someone after the votes are read. So it's pretty much just an immunity idol 1 week.
Okay. So this is an idol that you find?
Vote. No, you win immunity.
Okay.
The immunity necklace, and you can play it after the vote.
So
after the people vote.
So you can assign immunity, but before the votes are read. It's not like a Tyler Perry type thing, right?
Yeah.
So can people vote for you if you have the necklace?
I would say yes, because you could give it to someone else, and then you could have like a blunderous move of like, oh, you gave it away, and then you got voted out.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can assign the immunity necklace, but this would be after the votes are read. So the thing is, it's just like that you are protecting a second person with it, and then you sort of have to fundamentally change the rules up. Like, what happens if everybody votes for a person, and then I guess then if they would be like one vote to send somebody home if everybody voted for somebody who was wearing the necklace. I think that it's I just think that you're protecting two people with one thing. I think that that's like the ultimate, issue with it. Like, I wonder like if there would be like a twist where you can win immunity for this round and you can assign immunity to another person after the votes are read, sort of like a little bit like an idol, like as like an advantage in a certain round of play. But that seems like really complicated for, to make as a rule change. What do you think, Zach? Zach, did I lose you? All right, Zach might have gone to bed already. All right, so that's my take on that. Let me know what you think in the chat room. Okay, so let's go to... Okay, let's try 559. 559 area code.
Hello?
Yes, 559er. Who's this?
Hey, it's Jeremy from Berkeley.
Jeremy from
Can you hear me?
Berkeley. Yes. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm doing great. First time, long time, Rob.
Okay. Well, very nice to talk to you, Jeremy. Okay. What's going on tonight?
Nothing much. I just finished up Chapter 8 of Evolution of Strategy. That was a fun little ride there. I've been watching this DVDs along with it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So anything, any big takeaways? Did we get it all wrong?
No, you guys were great. And I can definitely say that my favorite thing about Amber after listening to Evolution of Strategy was the story about the two Robs and the two Jennas.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That really happened.
Yeah, no, that was unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah, that was yeah, a lot of shenanigans from the summer of 2002.
Yeah, it was a good little step back in the time machine.
Sure. Yeah. 15-year anniversary. It's 2003, actually. It was
Yeah,
summer 2003. Sorry about that. It will be 15 years since I went to go play Survivor in October. Which,
right.
Talk about.
Yeah, you don't need to go back. You're doing a great job with the podcast. I think that you're good right where you are, and we all like it that way.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. I'm very happy to be where I am. I really feel like, that things are clicking in a lot of different ways, and I just think it's, I don't like to look a gift horse in the mouth. I feel like that this is, really, really good right now, and I don't want to leave. So we'll see.
Right? Yes, it's the Seinfeld adage, go out on top, quit while you're ahead, or whatever that is.
Yeah. Or, but this is like the opposite of that. This is like, somebody might say like, hey, quit while you're ahead. Like, no, that while I'm ahead, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay at the table, while I'm up. Like, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to go to the, go back by the buffet or the pool or go somewhere. Where else should I go? Right.
Yeah, no, keep doing what you're doing.
Right. It's like when they tried to, get Kirk to go be an admiral. It's like, no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, stick with the Enterprise. It's trusty and it'll do you right.
Yeah. Okay. So what's going on? What's your question?
I'm wondering how you feel about a question about MTV reality shows.
Yes.
So have you heard of a new show that isn't actually on yet called Stranded with $1 Million?
You know what? It's funny because I have an email in my inbox from somebody who was on that show, and they wanted to know if I wanted to interview them. Yeah. Somebody so person wrote, I'm a contestant on Stranded with $1 Million. And I'm a fan of the podcast, and I was a fan of Survivor. And so, that this person said that they would like to come on and do a chat.
So, I mean, I guess it wouldn't make much sense to talk to that person if you weren't covering it on the podcast, right?
No, I don't know what plans Ali has to cover it. I mean, I feel like that I would maybe do a one-off. I don't really know a lot about it. I'll be honest. I don't know anything about the show other than there's some new MTV show. Is it going to be good?
I don't know. I mean, I think it'll make for good podcasting.
Does it look interesting?
As most MTV shows are. Yeah. I mean, it's the reason it jumps out is because it has this Survivor facade on it where you have people out on an island and there's $1 million involved. But the design of the game seems very different from Survivor.
Yeah. Is there dating?
Do you want to sort of hear a little bit about it?
Sure.
Yeah, so it's 10 people, and they're just out there with the clothes on their back and $1 million. They have to make it through 40 days. It says gut-wrenching journeys and demanding physical challenges. But the catch is that they can buy survival gear, so like supplies and food and stuff like that, they can buy to make their time on the island easier. It's just that anything they buy has to be paid for out of the ultimate prize money.
Do they vote people out? How do they eliminate people?
It looks like it's just all from quitting. So you decide to buy stuff, supplies by majority vote. So it seems to me that you could just sort of put together a majority of people who are going to be able to tough it out, and then just make life miserable for the other people until they quit, and then you just get a bigger share.
Yeah,
that's the quote unquote strategy as it looks like to me right now, having seen zero footage from this TV show.
I definitely would check it out. Do we have a premiere date for this, Stranded with $1 Million?
I think it's February 21st.
Okay.
So it's coming up in a few weeks. There's a little bit of time if you want to get out in front of it.
Yeah. Look, I would definitely do a podcast about it. I don't know if I want to get it in the weekly rotation, and I don't know how much Allie and Brian have on their plate in terms of a weekly recap, but I definitely would check it out.
Yeah, no, and Allie and Brian, I'm sure, are going to be super busy because Are You the One is going on right now. The challenge is coming back next week. They are going to have plenty to do without worrying about this thing.
Yeah.
But it just seemed interesting, so I wanted to throw it out there.
Jeremy, are you a big MTV reality guy?
Yeah, I'm definitely a big MTV reality guy. I go way back in the day. Basically, as long as I've been watching Survivor, I've been watching The Challenge and all that stuff. So
I'm supposed to watch...
they started, when you introduced the wrap-ups,
yeah,
and you had Allie and Brian come on, that was fantastic for me because I'd been trying to listen to other Challenge podcasts and they were all pretty terrible. So it's nice to have some quality coverage of that show.
Yeah, and they do a really good job. I'm supposed to watch Are You the One and talk to Allie and Adam Bongiovanni at some point.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I said I would do it.
Yeah, you did.
I'll make it happen. I will watch Are You the One?
Cool.
And I will watch Stranded with $1 Million. I'm like the, a go-to guy for MTV reality now.
The one thing I'm looking at some stuff here on Stranded with $1 Million, and they have a little bit of a screenshot of some of the stuff that they can buy.
Yes.
Just to give you a little bit of an idea of the rates we're talking about here. They have camping supplies, and they have a 2-person tent that they can buy for $30,000. Mind you, there are 10 people that they're stranding out here.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, they have tent stakes, which you can buy for $5,000. So I don't understand why you're buying a tent and it's not coming with stakes. So it seems like there's going to be a bit of upselling here going on this island.
Yeah, there's some price gouging for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it'll be a fun little ride to go on, see what MTV has for us.
Okay. Well, I'm interested. That I think you've piqued my interest to see. I mean, it does seem like it's a little more serious than some of these other MTV reality shows we're talking about.
Probably. It's hard to tell. There's a little bit of a trailer on their website, and it has people at some point. There's like toasting glasses of wine and like eating cheeseburgers and chicken wings. So at some point they're buying food, and I'm sure somebody isn't happy about it.
Okay. So, all right, we'll see. Look, you sold me. Sold for $30,000.
Awesome.
Yes.
2-person tent for you, Rob.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rob. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, and have a good night, okay?
Yeah, good night.
Okay, all right. Let's take another call. I got like 7 people here on hold. This is from the 240 area code. 240, are you there?
Yeah.
Who's this?
Yes, this is Matt Price. How are you, Rob?
Okay, very good, Matt. Very excited. Patroncasting it up. How are we doing so far?
Doing pretty good. It's interesting. This is the first one of these that I've called into. I'm a newer patron, so
okay.
I don't know all the rules on this and everything. So if I say anything, wildly inappropriate, you could just toss me off the line.
We will buzz you, and I will hang up immediately.
Yeah,
okay.
That sounds about right.
All right, Matt. Are you nervous?
No, I'm not really.
Yeah, you don't sound nervous. I think you sound cool. Good. You sound like you're ready to go. Got a great connection, crystal clear.
Right. Yeah,
ready to go.
I think I got nervous when you just asked me that because I was like, oh, I must sound nervous.
No.
But now that you've assured me that I don't, I'm back to
yeah,
so
sorry.
I'm in good shape.
I don't mean to put that idea out there to incept you. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. Well, no problem. Well, I guess I just wanted to say, I've obviously been enjoying what you do for some time. I think I started listening to RHAP around season 21.
Okay.
So going pretty far back, and it was basically like I had, after Heroes and Villains, sort of gotten a resurgence of Survivor fandom. So I was just thinking about, old survivors and Googling, ones that I knew and then interviews. So I'd say Jeff Probst's interview and, Rob Sesterniner interview, and then I got you doing hundreds and hundreds of interviews. So it's just been really cool to be listening to you all these years.
Okay, well, you found us, and what's the best interview?
The best of all of them. Well, I always do love when you have someone who has a little bit different of a perspective, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because, by now, you've got so many sort of great go-tos, right? From like Aris to Sophie. And I'm primarily a Survivor fan. I'm not really familiar with, any of the Big Brother or Amazing Race or anything like that. But, Aris, Tyson, they're all great all the time. But I've really enjoyed, like, just hearing from, early season randos, I mean, hearing like John Carroll on
it's
the
always
podcast.
fun. It's
Not
always
that was
fun.
the best.
Yeah. They're sort of like out of the loop a lot of times where they sort of like don't have an opinion that's like commonly held, but it's always fun to sort of like go back and like, I don't know how often you would need to hear from those guys, but anytime you can sort of like,
right.
Unearth one of them, it's always, a thrill for me too.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think that's exactly right. When they have a little bit different of a perspective, and not quite so game body, but more just, just having sort of that longer view. And actually, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you was with season 34 coming up. I know that, in season 31, you sort of had to reach out of, your same normal circle of regulars because so many of them were probably, tangentially spoiled. Are you thinking about that for season 34 as well? And any, folks that you'd really like to see on the podcast this season?
I had gone through it when Alex Kidwell was here back in earlier this month. We had gone through it and had started to like do like a wish list of people. I didn't really go crazy with people that might be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna like if somebody is like clearly spoiled and I have like evidence to like back that up. But it's hard for me to sort of just like gauge whether they're spoiled. I really just have to rely on the person telling me like, yeah, I'm really spoiled this season. I can't do it. Otherwise, like I have to like try to like not ask leading questions. Like I think I have a pretty good radar for like, ooh, that sounds spoilery. I don't like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that if I sort of frame the conversation more in terms of like things that they did in the past that worked, as opposed to, where is this going in terms of, getting predictions on things. And it's hard because like, I go back to that, certain people in the past. There's a Jeff Varner interview that we did during Survivor Philippines where he's just like, I just got a gut feeling Michael and Lisa are going to the final too. And it's like, boy, you keep saying that. And they were not in a position where it looked like that was going to be the obvious outcome. So it's tough sometimes where, trying to find that line. But, I just don't want you guys to be too nervous or anything like that. I think I probably would not be as cautious as I would last time. But if somebody, says something that I even think is like, that sounds like I'll cut it both, and not include it in the podcast because I don't like to hear about it. If there's anything, I don't like, it's being really bombarded on Twitter with people telling me I ruined the show for them.
Right. Yeah, no, totally. And it's interesting, because I do know you're cognizant of that. I think I never really get that sense in the recap podcast. I think in the exit, not your exit poll necessarily, but the exit press, like I remember very specifically in South Pacific being a really big Cochran fan, of course, because that's where all the super fan nerds go to instantly, just like moths to a flame. And I remember thinking, maybe he's got a chance to pull this off after his flip. And everyone, interview after interview saying, oh my God, Cochran, what an idiot. How is this going to work out for him? We'll have to see, that sort of thing. So I've started sort of, reading the exit press very cross-eyed so that I don't sort of pick up on that sort of thing.
Yeah, it definitely is a thing. Again, if I do sense stuff like that, I will, cut a line here or there. I think that in this past season, I got the sense, like, I think it was maybe my exit interview with Chris. I asked him about something like, did Zeke make the wrong
I think I
move?
remember that.
Yeah.
I think it was about Zeke, right? Yeah, he said, we'll have to see how that works out for him.
No, well,
and I said, okay, there that goes.
I'd have to go back and listen to what, but I think I cut like something he said that I felt like was very much, he's like, and we laughed about it, and now of like he shouldn't have done like something like that. So, yeah, I'd have to go back and listen to what I left in there, but I think I cut something out of that interview.
Yeah, interesting. I just had one other question, I guess. I really thought it was cool that you were opening up the, the game changer interviews sort of to an application process.
Yeah.
And I guess I just sort of wondered, what made you decide to do that? Obviously you produce so much content. You want it to be great. It sounds like you're really jazzed about it. But, I'm sure you had to have, it was a little bit of a leap of faith, it must have been, because you don't know how they're going to turn out. So I'd really love to hear just sort of how you came to that conclusion that was something you wanted to try to do.
Yeah, that's a really good question. That for me, I just had this idea where, I wasn't out there on location, obviously, like, the people that go and do the press, like, Josh or Dalton Ross or Gordon Holmes. And I wanted to do something to sort of like, specific to get ready for this season. I just had this idea of like, what if I could find the biggest fan of each person, and then I can sort of like reach out. And I don't know if we necessarily found the biggest fan of each person. We tried to find sort of like the balance of like the person that would be best on a podcast, like, and like the Venn diagram that intersects with like, the person that they really like. And we had so many great people that we found during So You Think You Can podcast. And I just feel like that there's more good people that are out there than I have things to podcast about. And I know everybody wants to do a voicemail show every season, and there's just, it's like a basketball team where there's just one ball, but there's like, you have so many different people on the team that you want to, get everybody playing time. So I feel like that this was a really good way where I could sort of like outsource going through, watching everybody's season, listening to interviews, listening to the evolution strategy. I really was blown away by the response that we got, where I think we had over 200 people apply to be game changer experts. It was really hard to make the choices. I know a lot of people got upset that we didn't end up going with them. We just had such an embarrassment of people. Like, we could have had like 5 really good people for almost every single one of the game changers that were there. And so, but we got really good stuff, and people really took it seriously of going through and rewatching the season. So I think that you're going to be very, I think people will be very happy with the variety of people that we got. Some people that you've heard in different things, and other people that are like complete newcomers to the show. Nobody was like too nervous that they couldn't, do a good job or anything like that. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I'm super stoked. That just sounds really cool. And again, it just, I also did send in an application, and it was just neat to apply. It was neat to sort of think through, okay, how would I approach this? So it's just, I'm very much looking forward to hearing how they all come out.
Yeah. And hopefully, in the first couple of days after the cast drops, I should have that we may have some like shock and awe. I may just drop like a bunch like in the first couple days after.
Yeah. Great. Well, that's really exciting.
Okay, Matt. Well, thank you so much for the call. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Talk to you again.
Great job. Take care. Bye. All right. Let's go to another call, and let's check in with 276 Erica. No, I think that was just Matt. Then let's go to the 949 area code.
That's me, Josh Leamer.
Josh, how are you?
Pretty good, Rob. Pretty good.
Yes.
Hope everything's going well for you and the fam.
Yes, everything is going good over here. How about you, Josh?
Things are going all right here.
Yes.
I'm in San Diego right now, so kind of driving around. Give me a second. I'm stalling for time while I'm going to a private location.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm good.
Okay, good.
So I had a question. I wanted to take a trip with you through a time machine.
Yes.
With Marty and Jimmy. And so I was thinking about, the state of Survivor's internet fandom today, and how there's a lot of fans who, have come onto it, post 2010, maybe Heroes versus Villains or around there. They kind of started, they went back and they, rewatched all the old seasons, and all that's great. So I'm one of the people that has been there since the beginning, not just watching the show, but also I was on, all these internet communities, and there wasn't a whole lot of them, but, we had Survivor Sucks, and they had that whole, forum there, and there was a couple other little places. I know
I remember.
Television Without Pity forums was another place, back when we had forum instead of Twitter and Reddit threads and stuff like that. So I was just thinking about it, and I was wondering, so back in, 2002, 2003, when you were playing, what was your interaction with the nascent Survivor online community? Do you ever check out those places? Did you, see, the threads that were about you on Survivor Sucks, about whatever? What was, I just want to know if you, had any particular memories of that or other locations, and kind of what your thought process was about it.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. The before I was on Survivor, I don't think I ever looked at anything Survivor on the I don't remember ever doing a deep dive into anything Survivor on the internet before I was cast on the show. I remember going to the CBS.com website at different points and looking at things on Survivor Borneo and Survivor Australia. But I don't think I really was on Survivor Sucks or anything really much before I ended up being cast on the show. Actually, I think I remember one time maybe checking out Survivor Sucks in in 2001 or something like that. I remember just being so bored at work, I was looking into other Survivor stuff, but I never really got into it until the point where I was then cast on the show. And then I tried to do a deep dive into reading up as much as I could before I left, and sort of the month before I left. And that was when I first read Mario Lanza. And that was when I first read David Bloomberg and sort of stumbled onto these different websites. And then I went to go play in the show. And then I came back. And then once the cast pictures got revealed, here's the new cast of the show, I think I probably was just refreshing Survivor Sucks basically all day long between that time. And it was just it was just crazy. It was oh, strangers are talking about me on the internet. I have to be reading this. Isn't this crazy? And I remember my parents were look at this. People that don't even know me are talking they're looking at our pictures and talking about me on the internet. This is crazy. And just going, it was just really, I had never, experienced anything like that before of, people just making fun of the pictures. And honestly, throughout Survivor the Amazon, there were very, very few negative comments about me. I really did not get attacked really very much at all during Survivor the Amazon. And it really wasn't until after the season that I had any sort of negative experience with the internet community where I remember I was so excited to post on Survivor Sucks after the season was over. And I was okay, I've been following all these threads for months and months and months. And now I'm going to post. And I just was really surprised by the backlash there was towards me after I went on to post, where I ended up like I created the handle I had created was like Rob Father Part 2 as a homage to Rob Mariano. Like I felt like, okay, well, he was the first Rob, I was the second Rob, and it was really like no disrespect was meant on my end, and people were people killing me for that. And then there were so many people that and I were writing to me, and I didn't have like all the time to answer every single person, and people like accused me of like drive-by posting, and like it really it totally like blew up in my face, and I was so sorry that I did it, that I even posted anything there, because then people like really turned on me very quickly. And then really all through like Survivor All-Stars, I felt like that it was really like, no matter what I did, I felt like that people just were really sour on me for a while after that. And it really never, even for like a couple of years after that, when I was doing like the fishbowl, people were really just, really down on me as sort of like a try hard, or I don't remember exactly why people were, really salty with me, but they were. And, I just feel like that, and I've come to learn there is a thing, like the person like that with that type of forum, the person that would never post there in a million years is the person that would be embraced. And the person that would like post there and say like, hey, I'm here, like it's like I'm in on the joke, it's like, get the hell out of here, we don't want, like screw you, we hate you, it was like I didn't know what to do. Like I had never, like it really wasn't until like when we were doing the podcast and like on Facebook, finding any sort of like positive community around the show. And I never like posted on television without pity. And there were like clubs and stuff like that were definitely more positive on places like Survivor Sucks. But my experience was never really a positive one with the the internet community after I was on the show.
Yeah, no, it was kind of an interesting place, because there was really a dearth of like in-depth discussion that had some kind of meat to it, and it was kind of like it's just a message board and post random crap. And even the title, like it was very went against what you would expect. So like I was like obviously just a huge fan, and I was like trying to get talk on the internet about my interests wherever I could. And they were the only real place that I could go to talk about Survivor was a place that said that it sucked. And obviously, they don't actually think that, or else they wouldn't spend that much time talking about it. But it was kind of an interesting place. And I was just thinking, recently how different it is from back then. And like now we have all these other places, and where people kind of discuss things and stuff like that. And just kind of interesting thought that I had.
Definitely better now. It's definitely better now.
Yeah.
There's a lot more like people like can like when I go on like Reddit and something, like I feel like oh, like there's like these people, like they really love the show. They have like such a like a reverence for things, especially like a lot of like the older things. They're really like, these are like really big fans of the show. And I know that like there's definitely like places on Survivor Sucks that are like that as well. But I just remember like there was this one guy, and his name was the Marcasian Godfather, and he had a picture of Simon Cowell, and he was like Simon Cowell, like with thumbs. The guy hated me so, and he would like always like I don't think he's still around on there. But oh, he hated me. Everything was like how much I sucked, and I don't know why I kept reading it, but it was really like they were really like the guy just like I was the worst. I couldn't do anything right. So
yeah, and I do remember one sucks thread about you that I think this was like years later, and I don't know why I suddenly remember this while you were talking, but there was some sucks thread. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years later, like 06 or something, and I guess you were trying your hand at stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
And so there was like a thread about that, and there was like videos of it, and I remember it's like Rob C is trying to be a stand-up comic.
Like, and, screw him.
And I yeah, exactly. Like, how dare you have ambition?
Right.
Trying to do something.
No, but that would be the kind of stuff that like really would like bum me out. Like oh, I guess I do suck, and it's the kind of thing that like okay, well, I guess I should go do something with different with myself, and not again, like I wasn't like trying necessarily be the Survivor stand-up comedian, I don't think, or anything like that, but whatever.
Yeah, that belongs to Bill Posley, right?
Yeah, Bill Posley.
I guess not. I guess he swooped in and he took that from you.
And I do want to say like that the Survivor sucks thread about the show now is for the most part I think is pretty positive. I don't want to complain about that. I used to go and read it and post on it, and then like I read like there was like some like comment like somebody like was posting something about like something like it was like they call like really like going after Nicole, and I'm like, what the hell am I reading this? What am I even like they were like really calling her like some not nice names, and I was just like well, I don't need this.
No, I don't remember reading that. That's horrible.
It was a while. It's probably been like like 6 months since I logged on, so I don't even know what you guys are talking about there. Hopefully Will from America is not killing me too much. Yeah.
Well, the thread for your podcast in LGS, that's like one of the only things I still check on there.
Yeah,
that's pretty positive about you.
No, it is. I'm not. I don't mean like I don't want it. Like I don't want it to, like I'm not complaining about that. I really am not. Of the many threads on Survivor Sucks, that's like that's like in the top 1% of like positivity.
Yeah. The only guy that's there that doesn't in that thread who doesn't like you is like this guy whose name is like 11111.
Yeah,
talking about how you're politically correct and how you only hire white males, but you're so politically correct that you're not funny anymore.
Yeah,
and everyone kind of shoots him down. So
yeah, what was the era where I was really politically incorrect? Like, what was that? What was that era?
I don't know. I mean, some people, I think the old timers union might have a problem with your comment about Roger and his prunes.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Might upset the AARP with that. Really cutting edge comedy there.
Right.
You can't say that anymore. You'll offend all these groups.
Okay. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Anyway.
But that's sort of like my experience with the whole thing. And then I sort of like really with the start of the podcast, with getting involved with Facebook. The audience was always very, very supportive. We really never had too many like major haters or anything like that. And all things considered, I've been very lucky with like the treatment of people of me on the internet. I feel like that I've never been really attacked for anything since I've been doing the podcast. So I am very grateful for the people and the audience of these shows.
That's great, man. On a semi-related note to what we're talking about, I always just remember like the most random things sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I was talking about you had like the video of your stand-up routine. Do you remember any of your stand-up routine? Because for some reason I do.
Okay.
Do you remember
I remember certain things but I had like a lot of like the problem is like you're really supposed to like when we're doing like a beginning stand-up comedian, like you're supposed to do 5 minutes and really nail down that 5 minutes. And like I was always like trying to like change it. I was always trying to do new stuff. I never really mastered the 5 minutes. So if you tell me what the premise was, I could probably tell you what the joke was.
Okay, so you were talking about how, again, I have no idea how I remember this, but you were talking about how an old folks retirement home is basically the same thing as a college dorm.
Yeah.
And because like you have the RA is like the same as the supervisor, or like you get meals at every certain point.
Everybody's on
And,
drugs.
so that was the premise. Yeah, everyone's on drugs. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
I was saying that I
you
was
do
looking
remember it,
forward to going and living in the retirement home. I think that, but again, I think that, really good stand-up comedy is like sort of like building up a character of who you were. And again, like I was like, doing like an impression of like things like I think a stand-up comedian would say, sort of like okay, I could hear a stand-up comedian say that. I heard Adam Carolla recently like use that phrase of like impressions of what a stand-up comedian would say, and I think that that's like a good way to put what I was doing also.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't sound. I mean, this is like 10 years ago, but I remember thinking like, hey, it's not bad, for someone that doesn't, come from reality.
A hard thing to do.
A comedy star.
Yeah, it's a really hard thing to break into, and I have a lot of respect for people that go out there like 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week to go and do that. And it was it was when I first started seeing Nicole, and that's hard to like be dating somebody, and it's like, hey. Well, it'd be one thing if she was a comedian also, but it's like, all right, well, I got to go, sit around the bar for 3 hours tonight and wait to go on and do my 5 minutes. And she would go with me a lot of times to stuff, but it's a tough thing to break into. But, this is a lot more my speed.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So glad that all these new venues and all these new internet opportunities have expanded the world for us all. So.
Okay. Well,
great stuff, man. All right, so yeah, just wanted to take a trip to the Wayback Machine with you for a little bit.
Okay,
so,
well, Josh,
I appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you. Hope you're doing good, and and stay safe. Okay.
Okay. Do you think I'm doing something unsafe?
No, well, you have to get to someplace. We have to get someplace safe to talk to me.
Oh, I mean, just like so I wouldn't annoy the people, my roommates.
Oh, okay. All right. That,
yeah, but yeah,
I think you were like driving and you had to like park or something like that.
No. I'm good.
Okay.
So thank you for your concern.
All right, Josh. You take care. Bye.
So,
okay.
All righty. Have a good one. Bye.
All right. So let me go back to Will from America. I skipped him. I screwed up the order. So then let me go to Puya, who's in the video chat. Okay. So let's go. Will.
Rob.
Yes, Will. How are you?
I'm great. Why do you hate me?
Why do I hate you? Why do you say that? Because I skipped you?
You keep skipping me, man.
You know what? I had written down on the page, because sometimes people don't hang up on the conference call. And so that sometimes like I could go to somebody who I already went to. And so I write down the area codes of the numbers. And I wrote your number down before I took you. And then I just assumed that it was an honest mistake, Will.
Okay. Well, I'll forgive you this time, I guess.
Thank you.
Next time, though.
No. Then that's it. That's it. Once you cross Will, that's it. So, Will, what's going on?
You cross Will. Nothing. I'm just laying down in bed. What are you wearing?
I am wearing
plaid.
Yeah, something plaid that you can imagine. I'll let you guess what I have on underneath the desk.
Oh, I will.
You won't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up with The Bachelor?
No, I haven't. I don't really like The Bachelor, but it sounds like this has been a good season.
Yeah, it's been a great season. There's a girl on there named Corinne.
Yes.
I don't know how much you've talked about it.
Yeah. No, I know of her. I've heard like a bit from like I'll listen to the Bachelor RHAP podcast sometimes. So and it's like all over social media. So yeah, I do know a little bit about Corinne.
Okay, and Raquel, her nanny.
The nanny, yes, yeah,
good.
Yeah. I talked to Amy
what are the odds
Haley.
of getting Raquel on for an interview this season?
I mean, if Amy and Haley could get her, I think that would make, that would be great. That'd make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that'd make my life, honestly.
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be good.
Yeah. I wanted to get your take on the Oscar nominations that came out too.
Boy, well, you're really calling into the wrong show for. I don't think I've seen any movie that's. I'm trying to think of what like of any of the Oscar nominated movies. Well, when do I have time to see all these movies?
I don't know. Leave the house some. Go take Nicole to a nice movie or something.
Yeah, what movie did I see? I'm very excited. I'm gonna go see the Lego Batman movie in a week or two. That we're very excited for.
I'm excited for that one too. Yeah. Not nominated for Best Picture, unfortunately.
Not yet. Not for this year.
Maybe next year.
I'm very excited. That's going to be the first movie.
Not yet.
Yeah, first movie I take Dominic to go see in the movie theater. So yeah, I saw Rogue One a couple of weeks ago, and that's it. If I had screeners of stuff, I would look at it. But no, I'm sorry. I used to try that probably 5 or 6 years ago. I used to try to watch every Oscar movie, but it's just all out of my jurisdiction at this point.
Well, it gets to the point where they nominate 10 movies for Best Picture. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a lot of movies. People say La La Land is good. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, so
good.
We'll see. We'll see. It's tough. It's like if I don't have to podcast about it or anything like that, it's sort of like there's it's hard to sit there and just watch 2-hour movie. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm sounding like such a loser.
What?
I'm sounding like such a loser.
I gotta set you up for it,
Sorry. Yeah, that's not. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Did you watch SNL this week?
The one from last week with Aziz.
Yeah, with Aziz. I'm sorry.
I watched the first couple of sketches. I didn't get too far. I watched the first 20 minutes in the morning on Sunday, and then Nicole woke up, and then I started it again with Nicole. Why? What sketch do I need to go look at?
Really just the whole episode was great. There was one, Melissa Villaseñor finally got a sketch where she was the starring role in it.
Yeah.
And basically the premise was just her and Aziz Ansari in bed and trying to spice up their sex life.
Okay.
And I can't.
I'll go look for. I'll look for it.
I'll send you the link for it. I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I just never got back around to it. I didn't have to podcast it, and then I was like, "Ooh, I can. I don't have to watch this today." So I would.
Freedom.
Yeah, and so but again on these Sundays where there's no football, it's hard where I used to watch them on Sunday morning, and then Dominic wants to watch cartoons, so it's hard to get back to it.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live probably not appropriate for Dominic.
Yeah, but I mean, when I do watch it though, it's a good time slot for me. I watch the East Coast feed at when they're in bed at 8:30. But that just happened to be that Nicole was home that Saturday. Usually Nicole works on Saturday night, so she was home that night. So we had got got dinner and we're hanging out as opposed to watching East Coast SNL.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go, Will.
I'm glad to hear you guys are hanging out. That's good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So that was
not
good.
seeing any movies though, but maybe that's next.
Hey, look, a movie. That's a tough sell for me to stay awake for a movie at this point in time.
Stay awake.
Yeah, it's hard. It really is. It's very hard to sit there. Start something at 8 o'clock and sit there and just look, these watching movies is a young man's game, okay?
I'm sure.
It's a long day.
The average age of the Oscar Academy is 68.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's a lot of good movies. If there are things that you guys think that I would especially like, I would love to watch them.
All right, we should get one pass to make Rob go see a movie.
Sure, but don't use it on something that I'm gonna hate.
Okay.
Why don't you watch the Bye Bye Man? Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to watch the Bye Bye Man. I don't want something scary. Like I really go out of my way to not put like negative things in my head. And I don't know, I need to put, like load up my brain with like a bunch of like scary monsters jumping out at me.
Yeah, it's like if you try not to think about it and you just think about it.
Right. If I didn't even know that, that was out there, then I would be able to sleep at night. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
What are you gonna do?
by the way, again, great job on the Haley Ford Game Changer interview. I think that's going to be that's going to go out pretty early. I think that's going to be right at the top of the order.
Oh man, I had a great time. So I'm really excited for everyone to get to hear it.
It was great. I haven't edited it yet, but that's going to be pretty soon.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
All right.
All
All right. Well, you take care, buddy.
It's great to talk to you, man. Bye.
Okay. Bye. All right. Here we go. Let's go to Puya. Let's bring in Puya. Let's see how many questions he's going to ask. If John Densford is right or not. Puya, what do you say about these your detractors?
It's like the stink, man. The question stink is on me now, and I can't take it off. All these people calling in, and some kind of parody of Puya. Oh, one more question. It's like, I don't know how it happened. I don't think it's going away.
Yeah.
But, I was actually, that's why I'm calling, Rob, is that my birthday's in 3 weeks, and I'm really interested in getting the contact information for that comedian that opened the show earlier, John Densford.
The warm-up act.
Right. I would like him to, warm up the crowd on my birthday.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? All right, Puya. So what's going on? What's your first question tonight?
I have one question, Rob. I'm not.
Wait, did you ask a bunch of? I don't even remember this.
Okay, so I remember I had like one question, and then what happened was another one kind of came to mind, so I peppered it in with the other one, and then people did not like that, did not get received well, so kind of got painted with the bad questions brush.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Well, it's my. I'll take it. It's my title now. It's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to talk about, Puya?
So let's talk Hunted. I would like to know who your winner pick is. 3 episodes in technically.
I mean, I feel like that David and Emily. I think they're gonna get away.
Yeah, I think so too. They were my pick when I drafted, first pick. So yeah, I'm feeling it too. We're on the same page.
I just go back to I watched that show that was like the Bachelor parody. I forget what that show is called. Unreal, yeah. And I just remember like in that first episode, they're like, oh, you always start with a wifey. You always got to start with the person that you think that they could end up with. So. And I think that we're going to follow them over the course of the whole, like, that's the arc I think we're going to see over the whole show. So I think that they're going to, if there's anybody gets to the end, I think it's going to be maybe just them.
Okay. Oh, so you think we're only going to have one couple making it out here and winning the money?
If that, maybe there's like some other couple that's like equal to David and Emily, where we see them like over like 4 weeks also, where it's sort of like that we sort of like have like David and Emily like get us to like, week. I think there's like 7 episodes ultimately. I guess we've seen 3 hours of the show, and I think there's maybe 5 hours left. So maybe we see like a David and Emily for like another week or 2, and then maybe somebody else, or maybe they like stretch out, because David and Emily are only up to like day like 10 or 11. Like they're really not, even though they've had so much screen time, they're not nearly as far as like some of like the couple that got picked off in Florida.
Right. I guess like my worry here, Rob, is that so far, like besides David, we've only really seen Hilmar and Lee kind of try and do some kind of maneuver to get the command center sent off of them. And my worry here is that maybe they're the only 2 teams that have really thought outside the box like that to do something like that as a diversion. So what if like David and Emily do it again tomorrow night, but then like the week after they get caught, but they wanted them to be in every episode because they're the most interesting of the, chase.
I mean, that I don't think that we're gonna get to a point where it's just command center is just like sitting around drinking coffee. Like I think that they're probably gonna like space out. Like we'll have stuff to watch every week. Like we may have a week or two where we have like a couple of dodo teams, but we still only have like I think 3 other teams that we haven't seen yet.
Right.
So and even like the 2 guys that showed up at the end of the episode. The guys that were Pakistani,
Right.
they seemed like they had their act together. Also, like if anything, their buddy Meadow was maybe gonna get them busted. But those guys seemed like they were on top of the ball. Also,
Definitely. I mean, glad to have Team Brown in the mix. For sure.
they're in the mix, and as long as Meadow doesn't screw them up,
right. I hope Meadow is not the next Karen.
Yeah, Karen's pasta, Meadow's pasta. Watch out. All right, people. We need to track it down to Meadow. Does anybody know where Meadow is? Need a APB on Meadow. Stat.
Rob, would you recommend Deliverance? I've never watched it.
I've never seen it either. I just know people are. I know like the premise, but no, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
No, talk about like putting bad ideas in your head.
Right. No, that was terrifying. Man.
Scott, have you seen that? Have you seen Deliverance? You get a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Damn.
He might have just tuned out on the whole Patroncast.
He thumbs down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
well.
Yeah. No, probably not going to be a movie cast anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Jesus.
No.
Yeah. Rob, I can say I share your pain, man. I believe I have also lost the diet bet.
What happened to you, Puya?
What happened to me is that my sleep schedule is all messed up. So my eating schedule was also all messed up. I tried. I really did. I got close, but not close. No cigar. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are you going to do? Look, it was a good kickstart to the year. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, but it would have been nice to, say that I did it. And again, we'll see. Maybe if like the, if I just get completely dehydrated or something, I might be able to hit the benchmark. But I think I was like, a pound or so away this morning. So I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Rob,
there.
At the end of the day, man, as long as you don't hurt your trapezoids, like everything else will be fine.
Yeah, Puya, this is Survivor the Amazon all over again. I'm going to be like right there, knocking at the door.
On the brink.
On the brink. Yeah, standing on the scale, while holding a thing over my head. But no, it's. I think it's going to be maybe all for naught. What are you going to do? I mean, I didn't even go crazy this weekend or anything like that.
Okay, well, with all the game changers. We'll take the blame. It was our fault, man.
No, I look. I don't know. Other than like starving myself, going down to maybe 1,700 calories a day. I don't know what more I could have done. Really, I didn't like. I really didn't like. I wasn't like in dire straits in terms of like I was just completely like a cottage cheese everything, but it wasn't like I hadn't put on a lot of pounds. I just was nothing but just a very mushy 163, and I had to get down to it's just it wasn't what are you gonna do?
Yeah, man. As rappers would say, diamonds form under pressure. We'll see.
Is that what this is like? Yeah.
I think so, maybe. We could argue it.
So, all right. Puya, any more questions?
Oh, no, man. I'm actually going to go before I get roasted for being on here longer than I should be.
Yeah, Puya, with friends like you have, I mean, who needs enemies, right?
Right? Got to keep them close, man. Got to keep a close eye on these people. I might call into the command center of you, Liana, and Kurt to help me track some of these people down later.
Yeah. All right, Puya. All right. Well, take care, buddy.
Thanks, man. Take care. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's go out to 206. 206 area code.
Hey, Rob. It's Stefan.
Stefan, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
Doing-
I'm really digging your beard, and I'm also sporting a beard nowadays, and I'm also wearing a plaid shirt, so we're twins tonight.
Right there, Stefan. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. And now you are corrected on Danny's physique.
I am. It's so funny. Like first of all, I'm so late to the party with News AF. It's a recent discovery for me, and it's become my new favorite thing. I listened to the best of 2016 clips, and I was like, I cannot believe I have not heard this yet. And I've been hooked, and I like caught up on all the episodes, and I was listening, and I was like, damn, he just sounds like, I was like, this guy's Tyson's friend? Like, who is this guy? And I was like, he sort of sounds like a middle-aged fat dude to me. And I didn't believe it. Like, so like I looked it up. I actively looked up the videos just to see what he looked like. And I was like, oh, and I was completely blown away. And then the girl that left a 5-star review for you guys.
Yeah.
And she said that, and then like I freaked out, and I was like, I'm not the only one that thinks this, and so it's just like totally funny. And yeah, Danny's a handsome, fit guy, and he's a great addition to the team. I love him.
Yeah, he's really good. And just the backstory on that was that Danny, who is the third host on News AF with Tyson and I, that there was some comments that people were surprised at what Danny looked like. They thought that he was a middle-aged, overweight person for some reason, and the listener was very surprised when they saw Danny. That was not the case, and Stefan also expressed those same sentiment in the News AF Facebook group. Very fun episode of News AF today.
Right.
Also,
like,
by the way.
I was inspired by the 5-star review I heard, and like I just had to chime in and contribute to this revelation for Danny. Like,
yeah,
and he seems okay with it so far. It's funny.
It was a surprise to him that he didn't realize that he was going to go on a voice diet. Then after that,
yeah, that's right.
Sound like he's in better shape.
Yes, he's in better shape now, and we're working on it. It's going to work out for him soon. And I was completely sold by the salt mine clip, and I'm so glad that obviously that was like one of the best clips ever. And you know, I'm still on my mission for you guys. I'm actually calling you from the future right now.
Oh.
I am working on getting you guys out of the galactic salt mine. So, you know,
yeah.
T-Mobile, they screwed you over.
Yes, with those shares. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really did switch to T-Mobile also, but not for the stock though.
Oh, okay, good. Like I wouldn't. Is it a good service? Like I wouldn't switch just for the stock.
It's
like,
not. No. It was cheaper than what I was doing on AT&T. Like for me and Nicole have an iPhone, and I felt like for the two of us to have an iPhone on T-Mobile was definitely a lot cheaper than it was on AT&T.
Oh, okay.
Not a paid endorsement, right?
Oh,
service is not as good, but I don't go anywhere, so it's fine.
Excellent work. But listen, like Rob, I have like Abby Maria in the jury of Cambodia. I have notes with me. We have so much to cover, and I will try to be succinct as you brilliantly gave your guidance to me. So I will try to be succinct with all of my points tonight.
Yes, go
for it.
Are you ready?
Ready. Okay, so I've been listening to the Evolution of Strategy, which I love. And today, in fact, I was cracking up listening to you and Josh cover Survivor Panama when you break down Terry Dietz's strategy at the merge. And my favorite line that I started cracking up was when you said, "Are you tired of having to think of which Lamina tri-mate to vote off every 3 days? Well, now Terry Dietz is offering you a plan to take the burden off for the next 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Brilliant, Rob.
Yeah, he was like, hey, like, you just sit back. You don't have to think about who to vote off. Yeah, go for it. Just work with Terry.
I remember thinking a very similar thing when I watched it like a long time ago. That I was like, he sounds just like a salesman, and like I just thought you nailed it in that moment. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, Terry really did not do a great job at the merge, and he was lucky he had that idol, Terry.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, we all love Terry, and but he was a disaster in that merge.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch, though, right?
Yeah, it was fun. I think I enjoyed going back. I mean, all of the evolution of strategy is a blur. I mean, you can come on here and tell me that I said like pretty much anything, and I'd say, yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's really like just it was such a so many hours in such a small amount of time. But yeah, I do remember.
Yeah,
it comes back to me.
You, like, yeah, I can't even imagine like the work that took. I mean, it's so many hours of content, so many episodes to watch, and like you're obviously taking notes and like logging everything in. So like, how long was the project like all together?
It was about 14 months, I think, that we started doing. I think the end of June 2014, and then we finished it up around like we finished recording around August 2015, and then I finished editing it in September of that year. So
congratulations, you guys. It's like
it was a lot, and the thing that's made it worthwhile is how well it's been received. It was just that we were so far down the rabbit hole that, I mean, thank God you guys liked it, because we had already recorded into. I think we recorded Borneo through Cook Islands before anybody even heard one chapter of it. So we were very happy that you guys liked it and didn't like totally hate the project. And we would have just had like, oh boy, well, we wasted the last like 7 months of our lives.
Well, one thing I've learned from listening to the evolution of strategy is that one of your favorite words is ultimately.
Yeah. It's hard when you're like going through the retelling of stuff to like have those transitions. I know I do that a lot because I edit myself so much in talking. Like I know all of my crutch words, and I like to think that I'm getting better, but I still have a lot of work to do.
Oh, I'm not criticizing you, man. Like I just started my own podcast, and I'm listening back to myself, and I'm like, wow, I sound horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of editing to do with myself.
Yeah.
But I totally get it. It's just like we all have our quirks, though. Like it's funny. I'm coming to live know-it-alls, dude.
All right. Where are you coming from? Where do you live?
Right now I live in Boston.
Okay.
So I'll be like taking the train down there. It's the first one I've ever been to. I'm super excited. I've been dying to come to one of these, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to expect. Like every time I've listened to it, it sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
So
it's a fun night. It's a fun night. I hope we get a good episode.
Yeah, I hope so too. Do you know like which week it is?
It should be
like
it should be the third episode, but I think it might be the fourth hour. I think there's 2 hours in the premiere, so it'll be the fourth, potentially the fourth boot of the season.
Oh, okay, cool. Like good, solid pre-merge episode, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's all stars, so you know that you got to expect it'll be a little more action than a new player season that early on.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's really interesting, like how they're just like pumping out all these all-star seasons all of a sudden. And speaking of the evolution of strategy, I'm like really looking forward to you guys like covering like the next few seasons. Do you have any plans for that?
I think right now the plan is that as we get closer to season 40, fire up the rewatch machine. And that's ultimately the there you go. That's the plan that we will, plan.
Listen, don't change a thing. But yeah, that's like so interesting that like, so you guys are going to start doing it again after season 40. Like that makes sense. Like give the season like room to breathe and like process. So that's great.
Yeah, I think that we'll probably do it. But again, who knows like how much Survivor has legs and stuff like that. But in a perfect world, like we should probably like get through Survivor 40 and then start, and like maybe we should come out like, but then I think people want to have it for like to commemorate like we've gotten through season 40. But I feel like that the hardest ones to do were San Juan del Sur and Worlds Apart, because we had just watched them. It was hard to like really have any sort of important takeaways from those other than what we just saw. Even like with the Game Changers, it was hard to talk about Zeke and Michaela. It was really hard to like sort of like have like a season away from them. It's like we just saw them, so that was a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I bet that is hard, because it's like if you're trying to have a historical perspective on things and a holistic view, it's hard to approach it like right away. Yeah, that totally makes sense to me. Right.
So,
well, our podcast is covering older reality TV shows. So, like right now, we're finishing up the Amazing Race 8 Family Edition.
Yes.
So we're definitely historians right now.
Okay. Yeah. People love to talk about the Family Edition of the Amazing Race.
It's a train wreck.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Stefan, anything else tonight?
No, I don't want to take up any more of your time, man. So that's all I got for you tonight.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call. I will see you in March. Okay.
Okay. I'll see you in March.
Okay. Take care, buddy. Bye. Okay.
You too. Bye.
All right. I got 4 people on hold. Let's go to the 813. 813 area code.
Hey, John.
John, how are you?
How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing very good, John. What's up with you? What are you up to?
Not much, but at least a little congratulations for being verified.
Oh, thank you, John.
No, don't make it a big deal, Rob.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a big head or anything.
Yeah.
I gotta still keep it real, John. I've been on these Twitter streets for too long.
I feel yeah. Like I haven't really touched Twitter these days. I mean, my Snapchat's mostly Survivor. Like I don't know. Some people know that I Snapchat like the whole episode.
You Snapchat the whole episode, John. Like you Snapchat your reactions to it, or you just are like pirating the episode for people?
No, just like the good ones, like when like the immunity or like tribal council.
So you'll just like snap the whole TV show like in 10-second chunks?
I don't know why. It's so distinct to me. I don't know why.
John, you're a bootlegger.
I don't think it counts as bootlegger. It was only good for 24 hours.
I don't know. I think that's bootlegging. Ask the chat. Is that bootlegging? Does John have anything to worry about? Yeah, John, I'm going to cancel my CBS All Access. I'll just watch Survivor every week on your Snapchat. Get the East Coast feed. Yeah. Be a cord cutter, everybody. Be like Chael. Just watch the Survivor. What other shows are you Snapchatting?
The Big Brother, I mostly do that, the whole thing, but
The whole you Snapchat a whole Big Brother episode?
Yeah.
What about the live feeds? Can I get the live feeds by following you on Snapchat?
Barely. No, I just picture them just like.
Okay.
You know, when I go to live feeds, like there's nothing on good. I mean, that's why I always listen to the podcast.
But if you found something good, would you snap it?
I could try.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you could be like the embedded person in the field for the LFC.
We'll see, but really, I'm on the field like almost every day these days.
Okay. All right. So, John, what's your question?
First of all, I don't think this is gonna be like a downer, but what do you think about Donald Trump's like stupid position on this, immigration thing?
Yeah,
like,
I think you nailed it on it being a downer, John. Yeah.
I don't want to down it.
No, but I look, I am glad that you because I don't want to get into politics, and people feel people have really, really strong opinions. Obviously, you're no exception. People have really strong opinions, against what he's doing. And, a lot of the vocal people that I've seen have, had really strong opinions against what he's doing. There's also a lot of people that are out there that like what's going on, and they like what he's doing also. For me, I don't believe that this is my place to come in and have a strong take. Believe me, I watch a lot of news.
I just want a quick reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like wildfire.
Yeah.
It's like wildfire.
I don't like to put, I don't want to feel like, and I don't want you guys to feel like I'm putting my head in the sand on anything that's going on politically, but I really do feel like that's not my job to come here and talk about this. I have a specific job to talk about these reality TV shows that we all enjoy. And I do, I come in here, I try to do what I'm supposed to be doing, and I do try to stay in my lane with this stuff. And there's so much political talk out there, and I consume a lot of it. I listen to a lot of political podcasts. I do watch the Sunday morning news shows just about every week, so I do try to stay very well informed on all of this stuff. But I do I just don't. I don't think it's my place. I'd rather focus on, because I think that we have a lot of people with very different political opinions in this audience. I'd rather focus on what we have in common. And, that we have people who are very conservative and people that are very liberal that all listen to this show. And I feel like that there's, I like that, under this umbrella, we have people who see the world very differently, but are united on something. And look, I think right now we could use all the common ground that we can get right now, because that I've never seen the country as divided as it is right now. And I don't think that, that I see all these people like sharing, memes and stuff like that. And that's all great to, to voice your opinion. But I don't think that one person's opinion has ever been changed by a meme ever. So I think it's like, being very active on the social media. Like, I think it's really good to, you get your fellow supporters fired up, but you don't change anybody's minds on anything. I don't think anybody says, that meme is making a really good point. I think I'm going to feel differently. So if I can't help fix anything, then I don't want to be, somebody who's further dividing people. And again, this is, I feel like that there are people that are far more educated on these issues, and I would rather listen to what these people that I really respect their opinions on things have to say, rather than being somebody who's like regurgitating that stuff. John.
I know exactly. I don't care about politics, but I don't think it's the politics that matter. I think it's like the American way that they say that is so bad, but I don't really want to talk about it that much. Especially, I went to a rally yesterday, and like, oh my goodness, like they have a lot of negative reaction, and I don't want to talk about it. But, I mean, yes, I'm mad, but I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Look, it is very tricky out there right now, and I hope that we find some common ground on something at some point. And that's luckily that's not what I'm trying to do with the show. So believe me that the first lady of podcasting and I have a lot of conversations. Then she wants to write letters and all sorts of things. She's very but she's just but yeah, she gets very fired up on things. But again, I don't know if she's watching like a lot of PBS or anything like that. She's just she's on a lot of social media, and people are getting her really worked up. So again, I don't know if that's getting us any closer to answers on anything, but yeah, I do. I believe me that I feel like that. I'm sure that there's some people that would like me to be more political, but I do get the sense from the majority of feedback that I get is people saying, thank you for not doing politics on the show. So look, I just don't think you need that. I do. It does weigh on me. Like, do I have a responsibility to talk about it? But I just think that people no. Who are you? What do you like? People have their own opinions. You're not changing anybody's minds on anything. So all you're doing is making people mad. So that let's not go there.
Yeah, I mean, let's just skip it now, but I guess we'll go to something, that involves reality TV. So maybe, I mean, can I ask a reality TV question, I guess?
Please do, John.
I want to
stop
talking about it.
Yes.
Okay. I know The Haunted and the Celebrity are so good, and the podcast always makes me laugh. So thank you.
I think that's what I'm glad that that they've been fun, and I'm happy that there's a lot of stuff where everybody's just really serious right now. I'm glad that we're able to have some fun with these shows that are on right now. So I'm happy that you've been enjoying them, John.
Yeah. So which one's the best that you like so far?
Of Hunted or Celebrity Apprentice? I've been sort of down on this season of the Celebrity Apprentice. I think that the cast has not been really great. Schwarzenegger's been very fun, but I think that I don't really love this cast of the Celebrity. I think it's maybe the weakest cast that we've had in any season of the Celebrity Apprentice. So I feel like I am enjoying Hunted, the TV show, more, even though I think all of the podcasts have been fun.
Yeah, I mean, I laughed so hard that I think I hurt my what's it called? Oh, that shape. Oh my goodness. And just get out of
the trapezoid.
Mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been there's been some fun shows to talk about, John.
Yeah, and then I think I posted about the Kicking and Screaming podcast coming up on Fox. But
yeah.
I don't know if you want to watch it.
I mean, I think I would check it. I mean, I think I have so much content coming up in February. So let's get a little closer. And if it looks like something that we want to explore, let me watch some trailers to see what it's like. We were talking about that other MTV reality show, Stranded with $1 Million. So maybe if they're premiering close to each other, maybe that's like one episode where we're talking about both of those shows. So we'll see. It's a good catch, John.
All right. And any updates on the know-it-alls in Canada?
Not yet. We're shooting for the first week in May. That's when Steven's available, but we're still trying to work on the venue. We talked about that a little more in the beginning of the podcast.
Okay, I didn't hear it, but I might go to New York one. But is there a a Big Brother Canada thing that week also?
Well, we're gonna try to do two shows. We're gonna try to do a show for Survivor and a show for Big Brother Canada. That's the goal, but we don't have a venue booked. I'm telling you, the first call of the show, John, you got to listen to it. It was the best.
I know, but I was in class and we were taking a test. So
okay, well that's why we record it, John. We got it for you.
I know. But
that somebody here's okay. Jen Manning, put the first call of the Patroncast on Snapchat, and then John, you can go and see it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not picky, Rob. That's no big deal about it.
Okay. All right, John.
All right, just one quick one. Okay, just one quick one.
Okay.
Are you gonna see 50 Shades with Nicole?
Am I going to go see? No, you know what? I tried to watch the first one that was on HBO, and Nicole was like, "This is stupid. This is boring." I was saying, Nicole, why don't you? I see all these women reading this book of the 50 Shades of Grey. Why don't you check it? She's like, I don't want to be one of these housewives that read this book. These perverted housewives. I'm like, why don't you just like read it? Everybody's checking it out.
Watch the movie.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid.
Come on.
Right. It might be inspired. No, she's not. Nicole's very anti all things 50 Shades of Grey. John.
So it's regular and his wife Emily gonna do another
You have to ask them, John. I don't know. Maybe that I know they podcast about the first one, so I don't know if they'll do it for the sequel.
All right, and I guess enjoy the Batman movie with Dominic. I guess I plan to watch it also.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Come on the same week though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe if Batman sold out, maybe I'll take him to see 50 Shades of Grey. Okay.
No.
All right, John. Love you, buddy. Okay.
All right. Hope to see you in March.
Okay.
In person.
All right. Take care. Bye. There you go, John. Okay. There you go. All right. Let's go to 301. 301. Are you there?
Hey, Rob. This is Emily Rose Forster.
Emily, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good. Very good. How's everything going?
Everything's
How's
great.
the wedding planning?
Yeah, it's great. I actually wanted to share something about that.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I talked to you about it before, but my fiance and I are actually going to have Stephen Fishback officiate our wedding, and we're super excited about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the fishy in officiate.
Yes.
So yeah, but this is I don't know that I know we had been emailing about this, but I don't think you told this on the Patroncast. So could you give the backstory on this?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything about it until it was all like set in stone.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's like kind of complicated backstory, but we were having some trouble looking for an officiant because of some family reasons and stuff like that. And it was actually my fiance's mother who suggested it because she knows that we're into Survivor. And so then I said, okay, well, I'll try to see what I can do. And then I contacted you about it, as you know, and I really appreciate you getting me in contact with Steven. and then I was emailing with Steven, and it all worked out.
Yeah. Well, that's really a great story. I'm really happy that it worked out. That I know that he was concerned about like the travel and stuff like that. So I'm glad to hear that you guys worked out all of the details. I think that's really fun that you guys are both Survivor fans. He's officiated weddings before. And so I think that's just like a really cool thing that you guys are having Fishback do that.
Yeah, it is really cool. We're like so excited.
Yes, and he was at my wedding, so it's that awesome. the circle is complete, Emily.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you had any fun stories or anything about your wedding or wedding planning or anything like that.
You know, that's a better 5 for 5 question because I sort of like that's true, yeah. The nice thing about being, like one of the things, and I do complain about my wife, often, but a lot of it is just for, for fun. But it's like, I have a lot of holes in my memory where, I've been with my wife for so long that she's able to like fill in a lot of the holes, even though sometimes I remember something distinctly and she's like, no, that's not what happened. So, I think that going through it, I think that we can probably better answer questions like that together. But we had a very, like the actual wedding day was, worked out really great. Like we had a lot of fun. No like disasters or anything like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. But Stephen Fishback did attend both the service and the reception.
Cool.
Yes. So how about that? But it's not for a while still, right?
Yeah, it's in June.
Okay. All right. So it's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, congratulations on everything. Did you have a question too, or you just wanted
Thank
to
you.
talk, share the story?
I mean, I was going to ask you about your wedding, I guess, but I can ask another question if that's okay.
Sure. You had a backup?
Yeah, it's completely. Yeah, it's completely unrelated to the wedding stuff. I was actually wondering about when you play sound clips on podcasts, how you like mark them so that you know which ones to play, especially when you have sometimes like the same clip in like two different versions, like maybe a shorter version and longer version. Like how do you mark it like quick hand for yourself so you can play it on the podcast?
So what I'll do is, as I'm watching the show, usually like I'm watching the show live, I will like record the audio in my office, which is on the other side of this wall. And I will then, mark things, and then I pull those clips, and then I end up putting them into a folder, which I can access here on this laptop, this Mac book, which is over here. And I have a piece of software that I use that has like all of my clips loaded in from the past. And so I end up using that. And I have like different tabs for different shows, so I can play, a certain thing at any point that I want to. Hold on, let me get my. Apparently. Yeah. So I have all that. And then I also have like a folder with all the clips, and I just have things like labeled by like what they are. And sometimes like I'll have like the long version of something and then the short version. And it'll just be sort of like, I'll have like the clip, and I probably have that more with Survivor. But it's sometimes like I just like I hear like one word, and I know that word is just going to be really funny to just like play that a bunch. So I will like have the longer version, and then I may just put like the short version of something on the soundboard. I'm trying to see if I have an example of something like that where, the apparently clip I think might have been. Let me see if this is what it is. Maybe that's a bad example because I don't have it as the long version. But basically, you understand what I'm saying. Where
I think it's been coming up a lot on Celebrity Apprentice podcast.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I'll do also is sometimes in the edit, like I know where it's like funnier to come in on, so I may just like play the long clip like when I'm recording the podcast, but then in the edit I know like I may cut like a couple seconds out of the clip and just go right to that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
a
little bit more about how the sausage is made.
Yeah, I'm always really impressed by your like timing with the sound clips and how accurate, like you're very good with that comedic timing, obviously.
Well, thank you very much, Emily. I appreciate that. It's one of the reasons why I like to do those shows audio only, where I can like, in the recording of the shows, I'm not nearly as quick as I am in the edited version of the show. So I do like to, have the show be perfect and be able to edit it down, as opposed to, when we do the live shows and we're on like a Google Hangout, like it's much harder to really, cut the show down after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
But yeah, that's why like the voicemail show is my favorite show of the week to do. So it's just really fun to have the clips and be able to tell a joke and play a voicemail and then come back to a clip. So that's really fun. And like the last like 20 minutes of the Celebrity Apprentice podcast from Monday night, I was listening to it back this morning. It was like cracking me up. Like I know it's really good when I'm editing it and I'm laughing, editing it. So it's fun to listen back to it with the stuff. For those of you guys who don't listen to that show, we ended up with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the boardroom talking about a lot of stuff about like they had like a weight, like they sell exercise equipment, and Arnold Schwarzenegger had a clip where he was talking about
As I said to you earlier, how does a woman sitting out there at the age of 50 and she looks at her thighs and she says, it's like cottage cheese, it looks ugly. I cannot even get undressed in front of my husband. I have to hide behind a bathrobe. You know, I want to get rid of all this. I want to train. I want to get a new exercise equipment.
And then we talk about the protein powder. Oh, look at these! This is my thighs with cottage cheese. Oh, it's terrible. It was very fun. It was very fun. All right, Emily. Well, thank you very much for the call.
Yeah, no problem. It's good talking to you.
All right, take care. And countdown to the wedding. 5 months?
Yep.
It's all happening. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Emily. Take care. Bye. Okay.
Yeah, you.
Oh, sorry. Cut off Emily at the end. All right. So let's go to the 570. This is 570. Yes, 570. Are you there?
Hey, yeah, this is Garrett from PA.
Garrett, how are you?
Not too bad. Doing some late night homework here. And
late night homework. Boy, so yeah, that is late night homework.
And I schedule my class in the afternoon because I don't like mornings. So I mean, it's not super late yet, but it's getting there.
It's getting there. Okay, all right. So this is a welcome distraction from the homework.
Yeah, no, it is. We were talking about the Bachelor, about how Corinne is like one of the best casting decisions of reality television, probably like the last 5 years.
Yes,
she's amazing.
Will she be the next Bachelorette?
No.
Okay.
No. So last night I tweeted out, and pre-comp I tweeted that like if she was the next Bachelorette, I would pay to watch those episodes in movie theater.
Wow.
Like, it would be that good television.
So what do they do with her? She just goes to Bachelor in Paradise? Is she such a breakout?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's Bachelor in Paradise, like 100%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, good for Corinne.
She is. Yeah. No, she should have been on Big Brother. But yeah. So recently I was out about a month ago, out in your neck of the woods, out in LA.
Yeah.
And it was like my first time out there as an adult. I came out for the Rose Bowl game, and like I go to New York City a good bit, and I thought LA was a lot more expensive than New York.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've experienced them both. Like, what are your thoughts? Like LA, New York, like what's more expensive? I thought like to drink in LA was ludicrous.
Well, it depends where you go. I mean, I'm not a big bar guy or club guy, so I don't really know. I mean, I've like in my mind, I feel like that Manhattan prices are more expensive than LA prices, but I feel like that, LA is probably like, more expensive than like Long Island. I think that if you're like in the heart of Manhattan, LA is going to be expensive, but not as expensive as sort of like the most expensive stuff in Manhattan. But it's sort of like more expensive than a lot of other places.
Yeah, I mean, I was downtown LA with literally the title of my hotel was the LA Hotel downtown, so I couldn't have got more downtown than that. I just thought it was like crazy expensive. No, great. I'm used to like college bar prices. Which are, like,
what are you drinking? What'd you get?
I mean, a lot of mixed drinks. I do a lot of vodka, so
okay. And how much
like vodka Sprite? Just like
what are you paying for the vodka Sprite?
At like downtown LA, like $12.
$12. Boom. And then what's that? Top shelf, or is that that's like the rack vodka?
It's like middle shelf. If you're one of the
middle shelf, okay.
Like a Citron, like nothing like terribly thing. But like, so I was at the Rose Bowl parade. Like, is that something that you're gonna take the kids to when you're older, or when they're older? I mean, well, I guess you'll be older too.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I guess so. What goes on there? That you just watch like a parade go by?
The Rose Bowl parade?
Yeah. What do you do there?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge parade. I mean, it's a parade, but it's like the West Coast version of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Like, there's like all the floats and stuff, and it's like a 2-hour parade. And like, I don't know, it was cool. I was, to be honest, I was actually pretty hungover during the parade. But yeah, it was cool.
I'm not a big parade guy, but I mean, if they really wanted to go, yeah.
Me neither. Yeah, no, I mean, more of a the kids thing. But yeah, the Rose Bowl was a lot of fun. We lost, blew it, but
okay,
it was all right. But
who's we?
Yeah, I really appreciated it. I go to Penn State.
Okay, so I'm sorry I'm not on top of the college football.
No, you don't watch college football.
Yeah, but hey, what do you think of Christian Hackenberg?
I know him decently well, actually.
Oh, is he a good quarterback?
He is like his natural talent is like amazing. Like I worked for the team the summer of 2015, so I got to see him like throw a lot, drags and stuff, and like I mean the way the ball comes out of his hand is unbelievable. Like it's really indescribably good. But I also think like the coaching wasn't particularly good. Like we made big wholesale changes on our offensive coaching after last year. So like the offense is a lot better this year, but he didn't like get that good coaching. So I think he picked up a lot of bad habits.
Well, how many bad habits does he have? Why does everybody say he sucks so much?
He has some bad habits. Yeah. The problem is our line was really bad. His last 2 years, the sophomore and junior years.
Yeah.
So he kind of like got like happy feet a little bit and stuff like that. Like he's a tough kid. Like he took like 100 sacks in 2 years and missed like 3 snaps. Like the kid's tough, but at the same time, like that really wore on him. Like I don't know if you remember like David Carr with the Texans, like how that wore on him a little bit after a while.
Okay, well, hopefully he
like,
gets
kind of
back together.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he's settling in there for sure. I've seen him around.
Tell him we need him to be good. Yeah. The Jets really need a quarterback.
Oh yeah, I'm a Jets fan, so it's like So when he got drafted there, I was like really happy.
Everybody says he's terrible.
I mean, yeah, right now, but I mean, when he was drafted, he was 21 years, 2 months old.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's not even 23 years old right now. I mean, like he's 22 right now, so it's like, I mean, like he's still really young. I mean, at 22, Aaron Rodgers was just coming out of junior college to go play for Cal. So, like, I think there's a lot of development left if you have a good quarterback coach and stuff.
Okay. Well, that's too bad we don't.
He's a young kid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully
no,
they
you
figure
don't.
it out.
We don't know.
Okay. Well, don't take him out for any vodka and Sprites, okay?
Yeah, no. I have one quick question. Have you heard of the horseshoe theory?
That I believe this came up on something recently about how people are honestly, I think it was actually, I feel like that was one of the podcasts, the Shireen podcast this past season. I believe she said about how people.
I think he did bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think it applies to the viewership of television shows, in that like the really great television shows like Thrones, stuff like that, like sitcoms like How I Met Your Mother, which are really good, and then like really trashy shows like The Bachelor and like Jersey Shore. Like they get like similarly high, or like in their genre, they get really high viewership numbers. And it's like the shows in the middle that like are just like average that like no one watches. It's like a horseshoe theory of television.
I could see something to that. I mean, I think that's that things are either spectacularly good or spectacularly bad, and everything in the middle gets lost. I get that.
Yeah, like I'm starting to realize that with the season of The Bachelor, because it's so horrific. And but I still watch. And, college girls love The Bachelor, Rob. You gotta,
I
gotta watch it.
I bet. All right. Well, Gary,
oh my gosh.
Thank you so much. All right, good luck with the homework. Okay.
Oh, I hate Spanish. Yeah. Thank you. And take care.
Okay. Gracias. Okay. All right. Bye.
De nada.
Okay. Okay. Who do we got next? This is unlisted number. Who's this? All right. Hello.
Hey Rob, how you going? It's Louise.
Louise, how's it going? Louise, that you're gonna win the diet bet?
Oh my god, I'm killing it. I was
killing
gonna
it.
go for a walk before, but my feet it was flat, so I'm like, why would I go?
Yeah.
So I can count these steps. I'm loving it.
Yes. Well, Louise, you're inspiring everybody in the diet bet group.
With my big bum picture.
and your friend that contacted you after all these years.
Oh my God, what a moo cow. Like, honestly, and like, that's what you lead with. Like, the background, just for people who didn't know, was some girl who I'm not friends with on Facebook. I haven't seen her since I was 24. And I was pretty hot when I was 24.
Whoa, Louise.
And she sends me this message going, hey, just saw your pictures on Facebook. Haven't you porked up?
Yeah.
I'm like, who's going to reply to this girl? Like,
That's not like folksy
Get off my
Australian
wall.
talk.
no, that is not a thing we say to each other. That is not cool to say to someone.
It's like, you know, like it's not like, hey, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
No, that is not a cool thing. Like, if someone here says, oh my God, you porked up, you can probably punch them. Like, it's uncool.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry that people are so rude, Louise. So what else is going on?
I just got back from my road trip. Well, I got back like a month ago now. I went over and had a date with Nick. So
Yes.
Spencer has been bumped. Nick Idanza is reigning champion of my Survivor Heart at the moment.
Okay. Yes. How was Nick? Did he have his wedding yet?
Yeah, he was having it like 2 weeks afterwards. He was all over. I think I put it in the Facebook group. Yeah, it was all over like one of the magazines here, like 4-page spread. So it's super famous.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sat there like in the cafe for 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe no one else is talking to you. Like, this is amazing. And he's like, no, really, like no one recognizes people who've been on Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Blowing my mind.
Okay. Well, are you excited for the Game
But yeah,
Changers,
we were
Louise?
talking about your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was kind of what I was calling about. Like, I was going to apply to be a game-changing expert because I adore Malcolm. But then I thought, I sort of seem to have broken the Australian correspondent podcast thing. And I just wanted to talk to you about that. Like, what happened after you had me on? You never had anyone again. Like, did I wreck it?
No, I just think that we were getting a lot of feedback from, or at least the feedback that I was getting was like, you know, I think it was a good idea to try this out, but I think that people were like, well, we only get 1 hour a week of you and Steven talking about 3 episodes. We would rather hear you and Steven talk about, you know, there's so much ground to cover. It's not like, you know, it's like a regular Survivor season where we have 1 hour of Survivor and we do like 6 hours of podcasting. This was, we have like 3 hours of Survivor, 3+ hours of Survivor in some cases. And we have and 1 hour of podcasting. And, you know, we'd rather, like, there's a lot of stuff that we're not getting to as opposed to, we hadn't had great luck with like the connection. I'm not sure that if I recall when we talked with you, if there was a lag, but
there was a bit, there was a storm on the day you talked to me, and I was like 5 seconds later, I'm like, oh, they said something. Oh, now I say something. Yeah, it wasn't great connection that day.
Yeah, so don't take it personally, Louise. You know, it was just that we decided, that it was going to be just better we had so much to get through on Australian Survivor that we just figured it would be better to try to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I was worried that I had wrecked it, but it was just the general.
And I did speak to 2 Australians in my Game Changer previews.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Awesome.
I talked to
Adam was on?
I talked to the great Adam Ritta about Zeke, and I don't know if you know Shannon Gates, but I talked to her about Debbie.
I think she might be in like there's like an Australian Survivor Super Duper fan thing on Facebook. She might be in that one.
Big Debbie fan.
I'm like Louise, who is not a fan of Debbie.
Okay, well, I think maybe she'll turn you around.
No, I like that Debbie, just not Debbie who are commenting on the sides of my ass.
Oh, the other, okay, Debbie, your Facebook friend, Debbie.
Yeah.
Did you accept the friend request after that?
No way! I just deleted it. And you know what? I can't even stalk her back. She's one of those secret Facebook people that you can't see. Like, she just doesn't exist on Facebook unless you're her friend. Because I sent it to another mutual friend of ours. I'm going, look at this chick. What's she saying to me? And she's like, oh my God, I can't even stalk her on Facebook. So, you know, My life is fine without her.
Yeah. Well, Louise, is there anything else?
I just wondered if you could talk. Nick and I talked about the Australian, New Zealand sort of Antipodean Survivor podcast that he's going to be doing. Like, if you had some more, because I don't really think Nick knew how it was going to be structured.
Oh well,
I
really,
like an Australian
I don't have any like, I didn't give him any guidelines in terms of. I basically told him like whatever you want to talk about, like we'll post it, we'll put it up. So. It's really his call, whatever he wants to do. I don't know. Like, I really don't even know has there been any sort of announcement on New Zealand Survivor or when that's going to start?
No, I looked that up before I got on the call, so I would be informed. And there's nothing. So I don't know what's happened with New Zealand.
Yeah, I should touch base with
know.
Nick.
And our guys don't go out to film again until May.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since December, but I should touch base with him and see whatever he wants to take care of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will be looking forward to hearing it.
Me too.
All right. Thanks for the chat, Rob. Have a good afternoon.
Louise, it is always wonderful to hear from you. And don't let the haters bring you down. You're doing great.
No.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right,
You'll
Louise.
get there next month.
All right, talk to you
I
soon.
just have way more to lose. I got the padding to spare.
Okay. All right. Well, keep it up. You're doing great, Louise. Okay. All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
All right. I got one last person on hold from 310. This is hello. Yes. Who's this?
Steve Davis.
Steve Davis. How you doing, Steve?
Going, bud.
Yeah, you're
I'm doing well.
You're back in the U.S.
Opposite. I'm back in Mexico.
Back in Mexico. Okay. All right.
Back in Mexico. Yep. So I lost track of time. I'm usually pretty punctual to these things. I showed up 2.5 hours late.
Yeah.
Actually,
hey, we had a great Patroncast tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a game-changing Patroncast.
I see you were verified on Twitter finally.
It happened, Steve. We did it.
Only took 2 years.
Yeah, after after years of them saying nope, never gonna happen. Finally, they relented.
Yeah, and there's so many people on there who shouldn't be verified, by the way.
Yes, yeah. We don't need to name names or anything like that.
I'm not saying you're one. Yeah, I'm not saying you're one of them.
Okay.
Obviously.
Good.
So, don't have a lot of time here, but I want to jump into something. Maybe someone's asked this, maybe even tonight. On Survivor, who do you think is in a more compromising position, especially with game changers coming up? Somebody who is a newbie, and by newbie I mean was just on the last season, so the other players, haven't seen them played, or somebody who's won the game before?
I think that somebody who has won the game before, I think, is in a worse spot than people who are unknown, because I don't think that, like, in hindsight, you certainly can see how Russell Hantz could have been a menacing figure. Zeke, I feel like that, he seems so friendly, and I know that's dangerous, but I feel like that Zeke and Michaela, I think that probably in a vacuum are less threatening than, like, Tony.
Right. But what I would really like to see one of these days is if they put a winner back on who had just won the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
That would really be a good curveball.
Yeah, it would be good. I don't know what incentive necessarily that the winner might have to go back so soon. Like, hey, you know how you just won a game? Like, now you could look really stupid coming back and losing really quick. But the survivors.
Well, then or if they won, imagine if they went to the finals again.
Yeah. You know, it's
I don't
funny
know if
though.
people would be more or less inclined to root for him.
Although, like a Russell Hantz, like I think he thought he won Samoa, and then he came back and played again. So, yeah, I don't know. People would do it. I don't think it's like people would be like, "No way, I won. I'm not coming back." You know, people love being on TV.
Certainly do.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of TV, what do you more? I know the answer to this, but I don't know your stance on Prison Break. More excited for 24 or Prison Break coming back?
Yeah, I was never a Prison Break guy, so it has to be 24. Even though I'm not super excited for 24 Legacy, I feel like that 24 Legacy. You know, I think they really like. You're not excited at all?
No, I don't know if you know this, but Tony Almeida is in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like and that's not even a spoiler. That's been publicized.
Yeah.
And I think they made a big miscalculation. They should have used Yvonne, whatever her last name, I can't pronounce it. The chick from 24 with Another Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was actually a good character.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah, I think the idea.
Wait and see.
Yeah, a woman CTU lead. I think that maybe that might be. I just think that they needed to make this more different than the Jack Bauer version of the show, and it just seems like let's just go with like a younger Jack Bauer. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. I feel like
the same thing. It looks like the same thing.
It looks like the same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they needed to like play with the format a little bit more to make the show different than a show that came on in I guess it came on in what it came on like right before 9/11, I think. So something that came on September
right after 9/11.
Yeah, September 2001, and then we have now this is like January 2017, so like come up with something a little bit new.
Agreed. Do you watch Homeland?
I watched the first 2 seasons, and then I said that's it, I am out on this crap. I can't believe it's still on.
Yeah, season 3 was terrible, and then I don't remember what season 4 was.
Yeah.
Okay. But it picked back up. That's starting to lose its ground.
Okay.
Have you guys decided if you're bringing back the Fear of the Walking Dead podcast?
I don't think it's looking good, Steve. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to disappoint. Maybe a special.
All right. Well, I'll call in on the Patroncast.
Okay, we can talk about it. All right, Steve.
Well, maybe I'll have to fly you down here for a set visit.
Yes. Okay. Like I could use it.
You take the train down. Nobody actually flies down.
Okay. All right, Steve.
All right, Rob. Good talking to you as always.
All right. All the best, buddy. Stay out of trouble in Mexico. Okay.
Certainly will.
All right. All right, Steve. You take care, buddy. Bye. All right. All right, buddy. There you have it. Patroncast 34 in the books. About just running a little under 3 hours. Did I get everything that I wanted to? I wrote something in my notes here. I wanted to talk about Game Changers and the Know-It-Alls, and I wrote something that started with V, and I can't read what I wrote. So I'm going to guess I talked about it on the show today, but I don't really remember. Anyway, so much fun to do the Patroncast with you guys all the time. We covered so much ground. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I think we will be back for our next Patroncast. Patroncast number 35 should be 4 weeks from tonight, February 28th, 2017. Let me know. I know this is, we're going on like midnight on the East Coast. Tell me if the Patroncast is starting too late, in your opinion. Should I start the next Patroncast at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific? Let me know about that. And also let me know anything else that you guys have in mind for me. But otherwise, I've been having a blast with the podcast. I was feeling definitely burnt out at the end of 2016, but I really feel like that came into 2017 with a lot of gas in the tank and have had a blast so far in the new year. So thanks again to all of you guys who made it this far into the Patroncast. Thanks for all your support, and really looking forward to what should be a really huge February on the podcast. Lots of great stuff coming up. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.